I'll lead things off because I wrote an intro of some sort. Welcome all listeners far and wide to One Piece of Lime. We're here to talk about our Dressrosa end of arc special. Just do a little roundup discussion and also talk about things in the future. And I wrote a little intro here. Our time on the island of love and passion has come to an end. As we all set sail for the island of Zou, let us reflect on our time spent here and then look forward to the future of the series. But before all that, we have someone to introduce to you all. She's 1 part content creator extraordinaire, 2 parts Sanji apologist. She's got pink hair and a whole lot of flair. She supports women's rights and women's wrongs. Please give a nice, warm welcome to our lovely guest, Melonteeeeeee. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Oi, oi, oi!
Wow, that was despicable, but thank you very much for that amazing intro.
What? Have you insulted our guest on the very first minute of this?
No, I was asked, can you imagine if I lied to you about that? He asked me if we chant Aussie, 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 oi, 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 or if that is just like something that someone made up. It is not made up, that's real. We chant that at like sport events or just any events. You hear it chanted in schools for some reason, and I don't know why, because it's like, national school events, not international. But it's just it's a silly little chant we do. And again,
I think it would have been funny as hell if you did
I just
lie.
lied about that.
Yeah, I just offended an entire nation. I just became banned in the whole continent.
Yeah. That would have been great.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Think of how funny that would have been.
Thank you very much. I feel warmly welcomed.
Are you sure?
That's what we aspire to
I
here.
feel
We want
warmly
everyone to feel welcome.
but please don't do that again.
Got it. Okay, don't appropriate Australian culture. Understood.
Good job.
I do my best. Do my best work here. So yeah, welcome back to the show. And I say back because your first time appearing with us was during our, I think, last spoiler cast. Thank you for that, by the way.
It was good fun.
Thank you. I'm glad. I agree. I want to give these two goons an opportunity to actually interact with one of our guests for like the first time in years, because everyone just comes on for spoiler casts. So Christian, announce yourself again.
Hello.
And
I am
Devin.
Christian from One Piece with a Lime and Panda View.
And I bring the brain rot.
You got to stop. That was yesterday's bit.
Nope.
It's not a bit.
It's
It's his way of life.
Old news.
I told you I'm marinating.
Yeah, that is the exact appropriate response to that statement. Yes.
So I just want to bring up one funny thing that I think is funny. So I've seen your name in the server quite a few times. I always mix you up though. Funny enough, with Justin.
Yeah.
What the reason?
Oh, right.
The melon thing, right?
Yeah, Melonteeeeee. So, do you know, or perchance know what Justin's old username used to be?
I don't even know this. I'm scared.
Yeah, I don't.
Justin, it's your PlayStation account.
Oh.
So every time I see like Melonteeeeee saying something in the server or whatever, I go, Justin, what are you doing? Like, what is going on? And then I go, wait, that's not Justin. I'm so confused.
Justin's suddenly become a huge Sanji fan.
Who are you people?
Exactly. Every single time everyone in the server gets like a new name or something like that, I'm like, who are these people?
Yeah, currently we're all different variations of Rob Lucci in some capacity. Good times.
And I hate that.
No, it's great.
Yeah,
Good
why
name.
is that the case? What's with the Lucci collective here?
So I know
Things just
something
kinda
happened.
happen.
Yes, I think something may have happened recently in like the story concerning Lucci. That has nothing to do with what happened here. I think one community member just made a joke, and I don't know if it was a typo or they just said something that was funny, like just remixing his name, and then everyone just hopped on the bandwagon.
Well, somebody asked, I think the specific joke was, because he's referred to as Rob Lucci, what is his full first name? And then it just took off from there.
So yeah, we got Robert Lucci, we got Robert Lucci, we got
Robertson.
Poochie Bucci, we got La Bucci, we got all the cousins. We got Kombuchi Lucci,
Robson Lucci, all kinds.
Kombuchi's a good one.
Yeah.
It's great. It's good times. We have a lovely community who may or may not also have brain rot, but
Who is here with us right now?
in front of a live studio audience.
This is a live recording because Justin didn't say that earlier.
Y'all should listen to our show. You should know. Follow our socials, all that good stuff.
Well, I'm not saying that, I'm just making it clear. Obviously, if they're listening to this right now, it's too late. but you can be not too late in the future.
Yeah. But just going back to the main streamline here. Mel, can you just give us a brief introduction of yourself again, mostly for these two and for anyone who hasn't listened to our spoiler casts?
Yes. So I am Melonteeeeeee. I do YouTube video essays, mainly on One Piece. I do I do other things than just One Piece, but that's few and far between. My main love right now is One Piece. I just talk about like character writing, character analysis mainly, but I also do talk about general arcs as well in One Piece and how they function. Not as much, but I do want to get back to doing that. And I read the manga and everything live so everyone can see my reactions to it. But it's mainly just I make One Piece video essays because I love One Piece and it has infected my brain and my life and my soul. And when something like that happens to me, I want to know why that has happened to me. And my channel is like one part me educating in a sense and another part me trying to get the brain rot out and explain why I'm just so obsessed with this series. But yeah, that's me. That's my channel.
My question to you is,
yes,
do you also feverishly believe about the dum fruit?
The dum fruit.
Mm-hmm.
The dum?
Yeah, the dum fruit that Luffy has.
I'm missing something. I don't know what that means.
Someone's not a listener.
Don't go hurt
Mel's got
public
better
forum
things
at
to
you,
do,
asshole.
all right?
Don't expose like in front of your audience. I'm gonna get thrown eggs and tomatoes and they'll boo me.
Where's your
it's all
decorum?
right. The only reason why I bring it up is because you said, like, you just have to deal with the brain rot, right?
Yes.
So that's essentially like my logic for why everything functions in the show the way that it does sometimes.
Would you like to expand further so they understand?
Yeah, let me. The dum fruit is a concept that he came up with very early on when we were watching, because people join the crew and they seem like fairly normal, standard people, but then over time, with exposure to Luffy and the dum fruit, it has this aura that just
like
makes people dumber as time goes on.
So you're saying Luffy's... Hang on. So you're saying Luffy's
Luffy
getting
has two
stupider?
devil fruits. Yeah.
Are you saying it's just Luffy or the people around him get stupider?
Just Luffy.
No,
Luffy makes everyone.
Yeah. Luffy has consumed the dum fruit, and the aura that emanates from him makes the people around him dumber over time.
Because I was going to say Luffy has his highs and lows in terms of intelligence, but when it comes to like Zoro, I can see that being a thing. Because I'm a firm believer that Zoro's gotten stupider over time. And I mean that fondly. I mean that very fondly.
That is a perfect example. Like the way I treat it is like radiation poisoning. Like one little blast of it isn't going to affect you, as much as sitting next to the uranium all day, every day.
Yeah. That's why Zoro's hair is so green. He's being... I nearly said his brain's being infected.
I'm currently wondering how long it's going to take for Robin to start showing signs.
Signs?
Yeah.
Never.
Signs of brain rot.
She's impervious.
I was going to say maybe her fruit's the anti-dum fruit.
Maybe. It's called a flower fruit or something like that. And I know that sunflowers have been proven to like grow in radioactive soil. So maybe.
Oh, that's cute though, because Luffy's flower is a sunflower. Did you know that?
His flower?
Yeah, they all have flowers. Well, at least Oda gave them flowers. I don't know, but Luffy's is a sunflower, so that's cute.
Today I learned.
I just thought that was a fun fact.
It is a very fun fact. If you know the rest of them, feel free to drop them.
Law's was called Princess of the Night or Queen of the Night or something, and I thought that was really funny.
On brand.
I know, my little princess, my little queen.
What more proof do you people need? Arc Princess.
I don't remember the others. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. But speaking of Arc Princess, we're here to talk about Dressrosa. I guess we just start off with like general reflection about how we feel about the arc in general. I'll let one of you two goons go first.
I think overall Dressrosa was good with like a 3 ellipses on the end because there's a lot of stuff in the middle where it just like grinds to a halt. Obviously there's there's Run Piece, and then there's basically Rebecca's entire Coliseum round just grinds the story to a halt for like 6 to 10, 12 episodes, and I just want to be done with it that entire time. But then there's the higher points, like the fighting towards the end of this arc. In terms of hype moments, obviously we got some in the Coliseum. Then when the puppets are all released, stuff like that is really cool. But Dressrosa is like a really good example of like hits some good highs, but also hits some like low lows.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Where it's like it's like the bipolar spectrum, where it's like highs, super highs, and super lows. Like, oh my god, that's so fucking awesome. To, oh god, why am I still here?
Yeah,
That's fair. How do you feel about the arc, Mel?
Are we going just by anime for this one?
If you have interpretation of the manga, feel free to throw it in there.
Right. I love Dressrosa. It's one of my top favorite arcs, but it is definitely not very neatly contained and not very neatly packed. Oda was very, very ambitious with it, with how many characters he was introducing. And of course, the issue is those characters are important because at the end of it, they are made to join Luffy's fleet. Even if Luffy didn't want them, they still did that. So we did need to know about these guys, and introducing them through the Colosseum fights made sense because, that's pirates do what pirates do. But it was the manga definitely felt faster, and it felt like it was more well paced. But the anime, because I always say, because Dressrosa is the first arc where the manga's like actually caught up, or the anime caught up with the manga. Oda was clearly writing for his life during this arc because he could see that Toa had caught up, and he thought, oh shit, I need to really get on with it. And Toa were, of course, like, they had to just keep prolonging and keep delaying until Oda finally got to the ending of it so they could animate the final scenes. But I really like the arc in terms of the emotional highs, and like it has some of the better like character stories, I guess. I really like Luffy's showing of character throughout this arc, and just how powerful his stubbornness is, I suppose, and how well he bounces off of Law, respectively, because they just have similar but very, very different ideas of, piracy and personality and captainhood and blah, blah, blah. But Oda had a problem, in my opinion, where he kept flipping back and forth between scenes that I thought were important. And I cannot imagine having been a weekly reader of Dressrosa and Law gets his arm torn off, and then suddenly we're jumping to the Baby 5 fight. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
I want to
Oh my God.
like, what? Laura's up there screaming, dying, in pain, and I'm now watching Doffy's subordinates like fight, and it's like, get back to my wife, please. I need to know what's about to happen. But it's still like a good arc. If I were Oda, I would have 100%. I would have 100% gotten the Baby 5 fights and the Senior Pink fights and all the Doffy subordinate fights out of the way first, and then focused fully on the rooftop fight, because it was just a bit too much flipping and it didn't feel as smooth as it did with something like, gosh, I don't know, Water 7, Enies Lobby, I suppose. Enies Lobby, while it's not my favorite arc, shocker, I know, it still did a very good job at containing everything very well, but also it's kind of an unfair comparison because Dressrosa did so much more and focused on so many more characters. But yeah, I really like the arc for the character writing and the human emotion in it. Like, it was just so heavy, but also it was sometimes just like, Oda, please, I need you to focus on one thing. It's like ADHD arc where he's jumping from one spot to the other and he doesn't really know where he wants to focus sometimes. Still good though.
Yeah, I think you described a pattern in Oda's writing and by proxy Toei's production, where there just happens to be a lot of side plots. And I personally don't mind that. I think I like having a little buffet of like, here's this side plot you can get invested into, and this one, and then there's the main storyline, right?
Yeah.
But the amount of jumping around we do and doing it without completing an objective first is a bit much.
Yeah, he's usually very good at his side plots, but the issue he had is the issue he had, it was like his whole crew versus Luffy's whole crew plus some extras, such as Cavendish and Bartolomeo. And it's like, the reason he's usually good at jumping around is because not every villain or antagonist, I should say, had a backstory. The majority of Doffy's crew had backstories. And the other issue is we knew the Straw Hats. In previous arcs, we had new characters in this new arc that were fighting Doffy's crew, so we also had to get to know them while getting to know Doffy's crew. And it's like, this is just one too many people that you're telling me to keep track of right now. That is a bit over my head. Not saying I don't like those characters. I very much love Cavendish. I love Bartolomeo because I always like any goddamn Sanji and Zoro fan will tell you this. Oda clearly missed their dynamic and said, I have to create them again if I want to create my bickering green-haired, blonde-haired duo. Oh my god,
it's a blonde hair and a green-haired freak.
Exactly. And they're always just yelling at each other.
Holy shit! How did I miss that?
I don't know.
Glass in three minds. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Because I stand by one of Oda's favorite dynamics is Zoro and Sanji, and I don't mean that in a shipping sense. I mean, they're just very, very fun to write because of their constant bickering. So I think he just missed that. And he said, I just have to make them again, otherwise I'm going to go crazy.
Oh my god,
that's a mind
my
blower.
media literacy is really in the trash bin because I didn't peep. Oh my god!
But it's also funnier because the hair colors don't match the fighting styles either.
Yeah,
because the one with green hair doesn't have the sword. He fights with anything else.
He did make the blonde the like pretty boy knight who like loves attention. It's like they're like both exaggerations of Zoro and Sanji to an extreme extent. Bartolomeo is more ridiculous and stupider, and an insane loyal Luffy fan, and then Cavendish is just over dramatic, over flair, wants to be a superstar, and it's like it feels like he's taken the piss, in my opinion, out of Zoro and Sanji, and he's like forcing like fan opinions onto these two characters of what people think Zoro and Sanji are. At least that's what it felt like to me. It might not be the case, but if you look at it like that, it makes them funnier.
It's my canon now. This is great.
I think I just felt more in love with Barto. That's just Zoro light.
Zoro light.
Zoro light.
I mean, how do I explain this? If you talk to a Zoro and Sanji fan, they will say Bartolomeo and Cavendish are like Zoro and Sanji on Adderall.
Yeah. I think that checks.
Because they're just more.
That makes sense. Matt checks out. My own quick assessment of the arc. So walking into this arc, I had mentioned to our listeners that this is one of my favorite arcs. For a while, there's been a lot of change in the One Piece story as time has gone on, obviously. When this arc came out, or was getting animated, I was in college and I had just started, I basically just started my One Piece journey. I started like the summer leaving high school, and then for those 2 years after, I think Dressrosa was getting started. And so I was slowly catching up. And as time went on, I hear people talking about Dressrosa stuff. And I'm like, oh man, I want to like be able to engage in the conversations happening. So I'm like speed running at a certain point.
Oh, you got caught in that trap.
Yeah. I can tell you there are so many, prior to like watching all of this stuff now properly, there was a lot of holes in my memory. And it was definitely brought upon by me just kind of pressing the fast forward button to quote unquote watch the episodes and catch up. Like I was definitely doing a whole lot of God, what's that technical term psychologists use? Like chunking, where you just kind of binge the content, but then you don't retain anything. I said I watched it, and I technically did. Do I have any idea what's going on anymore? No, not at all. And I did, and in hindsight, that led to my burnout, which is why I eventually stopped watching for like years for like the next two arcs, which people will call me a madman for, and rightfully so. But having said that, I still like Dressrosa. Watching it now properly with like my full attention and everything, I still love it. Pacing does hurt. I understand why One Piece is created now. One Piece, excuse me. And it's surprisingly no longer my favorite. And that's just because stuff that happens in the future has just enticed me much more. But Dressrosa is still up there. It introduces my favorite character, or one of my favorite characters being Law. I really appreciate Doflamingo as a villain. He's still like the number one villain in my heart. He was just so compelling. New insights, I guess. I really like the Coliseum stuff. Tournament arcs are just always fun.
Shonen
I really
fan.
like. I really like Fujitora's introduction and just how he plays a role in the story and how he represents the Marines or how he is juxtaposed and compared to other Marines surrounding him. Because we never get enough Marine stories in the show. And so getting
Fujitora is a favorite of mine too, yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
I used to not like him. He used to be my shit books, but
Really?
I missed... Well, listen.
Wait,
listen to me. Listen to me. I missed the part where he got drafted into being a Marine and didn't actively choose to be a Marine. And that's good hindsight to have because I just didn't know about that. And now that I know about that, I respect him a lot more.
But yeah, I think that's... I like Dressrosa. It has problems, obviously. For me, it's mostly the pacing. And then just like other little things I complain about in anime in totality. But I like it. Love it. It's good times. There's a question here on the sheet that we can move on to. But before that, I want to ask, this is mostly for us. To you two, how do you feel? Because previously we were doing One Piece for a little while, like post time skip, and we swapped over to watching it as intended, quote unquote, for Dressrosa, which is an insane thing to do given this founded One Piece. How do you guys feel about the differences, like in terms of like experience?
So going from One Piece to just, traditional, honestly, I think it depends on perspective and your watching habits, right? Like because I personally feel watching it the traditional way, like, was not bad. Because I remember moments in, like, for example, Punk Hazard, where One Piece affected us negatively and like confused the absolute shit out of me. And I wonder how, like, because I watched it the all natural way, what I would have missed, like those dumb moments, like what brain rot energy moment that I hyper fixated on in Dressrosa would I have missed if I had, watched it One Piece style. So it's like I could see why people made One Piece. There's moments like, like the run piece aspect, or just like the fact of the amalgamation of how many fucking flashbacks they can have in an episode.
Oh my God, yeah.
Right. Like I understand why it was created, but because of how we watched them, it wasn't as miserable as, per se, some other arcs were for me. Because, like, I remember royally fucking hating Skypiea. Like, I loathed coming in and recording and watching those episodes. What's that?
Animal, by the way. Skypiea is goated.
I understand, but I feel like even in my brain, like, I don't remember all the specific like moments. I only remember the hype moments that we talked about, and so it's like, it's more recency bias. I don't know. So for me, it's like watching it normally because of how we did it and like the sections that we did. I guess it didn't feel as awful because you could see it coming a mile ahead. Now, if you're watching week to week, God, I would want to shoot myself. This would be miserable to watch. If I was watching week to week, one episode, I would want to die. So I don't blame people for creating One Piece. But when you're in that, like the Netflix era that we are, where you just watch a fuck ton in one sitting, it's not as bad, in my opinion.
That's fair. What about you, Christian?
The opinion I have is mostly the same. I think it was worth watching it in regular mode and not One Piece, because there were little moments that you probably wouldn't have gotten. Devin, your profile picture probably wouldn't have seen that. You probably wouldn't have got Apple Rat.
I never would have gotten the rat.
You would not have gotten Apple Rat, among other things. But yeah, I think, especially in the beginning, basically the first point in which Dressrosa becomes kind of unbearable is not until the last round of Coliseum fights, and where they just string it out for a long time, and it's annoying, and I can't stand it, and it just needs to be moved on from. But up to that point, there's a good number of episodes where it's worth watching the normal episodes because there's enough content in there to warrant watching them that way. I understand why this is the inception of One Piece for aforementioned reasons, but I think that ultimately this is worth having this experience, which is not a thing I would have ever thought I would have said about this arc going into it and how painful it had been described to me before this. I don't think I think it had been overblown how terrible the
hype for the hatred was a little higher than expected.
Yeah, I think you made a good point though, that watching week to week is different than the way we do it. Watching Run Piece week to week, that was like 12 episodes. For us, 3 weeks. For weekly watchers at that time, 12 weeks. 3 months. 3 months of getting garbage content week to week. So, in a sense, yes. If you could have retroactively handed these weekly watchers One Piece, they would have gobbled it up. But for people who are binging it now, like us or anybody else that does it, 12 episodes, 3 hours or 4 hours. I mean, it's a bit of a commitment. I'm curious to know exactly how much of this stuff One Piece did cut and did keep. I'm not that I'm going to go back and watch it because that's fucking crazy. Rewatch One Piece. Who does that?
Somewhere in the world, Brendan is getting a tingle. He doesn't understand why.
We don't need
to start watching it again.
Don't need to go that far.
And I'll catch up by the end of the week.
So yeah, you joke, but yes. The point being that this was not nearly as bad as I had feared at the beginning. So I think going forward, I am more than fine with continuing to watch the episodes as they released instead of going back to One Piece. I don't really have a desire to go back to One Piece right now. We'll see what happens with the next arc. If that maybe change, this can always change this opinion. But for right now,
what I'm hearing is I can plot our schedule for
absolutely
all natural, organic, GMO
by
watching.
all means. Yeah,
gotcha.
The Whole Foods brand schedule. Yeah,
gotcha.
It was kind of funny because like now that I think about it, I remember like before reaching Dressrosa, like my expectation for how slow this arc was going to be and how painful it was going to be was thinking that the whole arc was going to feel like Run Piece.
Mm-hmm.
Like if that was the whole arc was that kind of pace.
Thankfully not.
But it wasn't. Thankfully not. But there's always a chance.
Mel, can I ask if you've indulged One Piece before?
I know of it. I was told many a times to watch it, but I have a bit of a vendetta against it because Toa mess up sometimes. That's no secret, right? And it's like, yes, they had a struggle with Dressrosa because Dressrosa, again, that's when the anime caught up to the manga, so they were all fighting for their lives. But I don't like One Piece personally for a few reasons. One of the reasons is I'm just an incredibly stubborn person, and I don't like to be dictated or told by someone else, this is what you need to just cut. And it's like, I don't want to have that forced upon me, I suppose, because there's a cool little nifty thing on your keyboard where you can press forward yourself if you are getting bored with something.
I have liberally done that.
Yeah,
several times.
I'm a huge fan of that button.
Click,
yeah.
Great. It's a great button.
Wait, I have
fan.
autonomy. I can I don't have to just wait 23 minutes.
Exactly. Because Dressrosa, I'll admit, is the only anime arc I watched for One Piece where I did actually do that. Like, it was for one episode, I think. And it was literally after Law got his arm torn off and we just cut to someone else. And I was like, what? I was like, I just want to get back to Law. What the hell? But that's Dressrosa is the only arc I've done that in. But that only one episode I did that with. But I enjoy deciding myself if I want to skip something. I don't like One Piece because I don't like the things it cuts sometimes. I've heard the things it's cut. And One Piece, in my opinion, cannot decipher between artistic liberties in terms of adapting manga to anime, because sometimes things have to be different if you're going to adapt from a manga to an anime, because in manga you don't have time. You can just stare at a page for as long as you want. Anime has time, right? So it's like if there's a scene of someone running across like a field to get to someone, like that can be there for a reason. You're meant to be experiencing that with them, and One Piece will sometimes just cut that out. And it's like, why are you cutting this out? This is here usually for artistic liberty. This is not a flashback. this is so, or sometimes flashbacks exist to remind us of things that have happened that we may have forgotten about. Dressrosa overdid it, I agree. But with other things, when you guys get to Whole Cake Island, you'll see what I mean. I think the flashbacks on Whole Cake Island were used pretty sparingly and pretty well to remind us of things.
Spoilers!
I didn't say anything. Just that.
You said the island name!
Am I not allowed to say that? Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
No!
I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I'm so sorry. I thought you knew the
Oh, this is incredible.
Oh my God.
Australian Justin.
I'm sorry. I had no idea. I thought the island names went off the table.
Don't look at the chat. They're murdering you in the chat. Don't look. Don't look.
I wonder where we're
God.
going next, guys.
I wasn't given, in my defense, I wasn't given the lines of which I could not cross. I'm so sorry. Well, in one arc, then they use flashback sparingly. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Anyways,
The betrayal.
That's a weird way of saying Zoe. Whole Cake Island. That's weird.
I think the reason I thought that was fine is because you mentioned Zoe, and I was like, okay, so he knows that that's coming up. Anyways, right.
If it makes you feel better, Devin's the other one who got this spoiled. I already knew.
Very cool. Anyways,
I'm mad now.
I'm so sorry about that. I didn't know. Anyways,
Betrayal.
what I was saying is One Piece, I get why people watch it, but I don't like what it cuts sometimes because, again, you're watching something. You're not, just logging through something, I suppose. Or you shouldn't feel
I
like that.
100% agree, though. Because, like, a perfect example, and it's the only example that I can think of, is remember the centaur from Punk Hazard, where we're just like, one scene, it's there, or not there, and then all of a sudden just appears, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yes.
Like, One Piece definitely egregiously does that.
Yeah, the manga is definitely better as well in terms of, like, Dressrosa stuff. But whatever.
I basically share the same feelings as everyone here. I'm really glad we don't necessarily have to go back to One Piece yet. Mostly because, one, that means that's less work for Christian to have to do to put those files in our drive. But also, like everyone said, there's good things that occur when you shift from mediums of still image manga pages to motion picture, there's obviously, things we all have our disappointment or disgruntledness with. But I like anime or motion picture as a genre as a whole, because people who are good at this art form are capable of just translating so many things for me in a visual sense. Like, I have a personally really hard time keeping up with manga when certain things are happening, whether it's like how action is depicted, or sometimes for like artistic reasons and like just page planning, excuse me. The manga panels might shift around in terms of like where you're supposed to read them in order. So that does affect my experience and does like dampen it a little bit. So when I have someone who can kind of do all that hard work for me, and I get to see it in color, like, that's just a win-win for me. So I also like One Piece as intended, despite all the flaws it may or may not have. It's a great discussion so far.
How does it feel knowing that we have these opinions and you were the one who suggested watching the actual show? Honestly,
a big sigh of relief. Granted, I was going off of like really old memory. Like, I had not touched this arc in years, right? So when me and Brendan and Jordy were discussing it was like I said it as a joke, and then Jordy was like, nah, double down, do it. And I was like, okay, if they hate me, they hate me. And thankfully, like Devin already said, like, our particular viewing experience gave us a more or less like enjoyable overall experience with this arc and whatnot. Yeah, so I'm glad you don't hate it. I'm glad you don't hate me. I was actually, when I put in our schedule sheet like a marker for when we could swap back to One Piece, because I originally said we need to watch 100 episodes, and we agreed to that. At that point, there's like maybe 5 weeks of episodes left for us. And I was like, are they going to like tell us to go back to One Piece for those 5 weeks?
Should have
and
done
thankfully not, because that would have just been like logistical nightmare. But yeah, I'm glad I did not ruin our experience. Thanks, Toei. So we can move on to like highlight moments. There's the obvious ones, more or less, that we don't have to stray away from, obviously. But I'm just curious on like what are the moments that stick out to you, also accounting for recency bias because it's been a long arc.
The law flop.
Everybody do the flop.
What? So Mel, in case you're not aware of this particular moment, which I would be surprised if you did, it's what was happening in this scene?
Well,
it was right. If you have a better memory,
literally
please
just
tell it.
teleports in to talk to Luffy, but he flops on the ground like off of a second story.
Yeah,
It's
this is
just
like one episode before Doflamingo and Luffy like finally do like their final confrontation. Law's just like in a rooftop elsewhere, getting people out of danger or whatever, out of Doflamingo's warpath. And he decides he wants to like talk to Luffy, and maybe Gyatz is also there.
Yeah, it's Gats is carrying Luffy away from the battlefield so he can do his 10-minute hockey recharge. And Law's like, no, I got this. I'll look after him. But he flops off of a rooftop onto the ground, ASDF movie style.
He's so funny. Oh, I love Law.
It was like he had enough room, energy to like get himself kind of safely close to the ground. Like in my mind, he was already on a rooftop, so he just kind of like rolled off the edge, went room, got himself as close to the bottom as he could, and then just fell the rest of the way. It was great.
Yep,
it was
that
beautiful.
sounds like Law.
Glorious.
He was really on
Glorious.
Struggle Street through that whole arc.
He was having a time. But yeah, we got Devin's Law flop. I have to mention it because your fucking profile picture. Apple Rat from fucking Corazon
I'm
Flashbacks.
so glad. I'm so glad that stuck out to you because that also stuck out to me. That damn
No
rat.
fucking
way.
way, dude. No fucking way.
It stood out to me because of like the animation. It's like 2 frames and it just goes chomp, chomp.
This is exactly what Devin said.
I remember
There's
it
no
so
way,
well.
dude.
I'm not alone.
Oh, unbelievable.
Num, num, num. I'm not crazy. You're crazy.
I can't believe someone just validated Devin's brain rot.
on Apple Rat of all things.
Yeah. Like, what?
I'm pretty sure if you go through my One Piece watch thread on Twitter, you don't have to. It's very long. I even mentioned the rat because I was so enamored by it.
Justin, you have to go find it.
I gotta go.
You gotta go find that one.
Oh my
Please.
god.
Please.
I want to say it's incredible, but I feel like I'd be lying if I said that.
No, it's
All
incredible.
my homies love the rat.
Yeah, all the homies love Apple Rat. It's official.
Holy shit. Honestly, Apple Rat really represents us as a
for a
whole.
moment we were enemies, but now best of friendo.
Wow. Apple Rat,
United
Apple Rat
through rat.
appreciation just completely offsets. Spoiler, huh?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All right.
It's the little things, Christian. It's the little things.
I clearly, yeah.
Any other? Feel free to jump in with whatever you guys are thinking about.
Oh,
for
I mean,
highlights.
I think it'll come as no surprise that one of my favorite moments of this arc is when Sabo is officially revealed.
Oh,
Big call that energy for you. Call that.
That is
When did you make that prediction?
When did I make that
We
prediction?
both-
back
we
in
both just-
in their flashback, like during the war arc,
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
when they
we were
when there
both
was
like, no.
when he got shot when his boat got shot up by the celestial dragon, I was like, yeah, he's not dead. There's no shot. And then at that point, I was like, there's no shot. And then Dragon drags a person onto his ship and goes,
He's
here, take care of.
dragging a person.
Yeah. He just he comes up. Yeah. Oh.
Oh, come on.
Well, look.
Who's got brain rot now?
Well, look.
What?
She said Luffy bounced off Law earlier, and I chuckled, and I got nothing. So
Oh, I missed that. My bad.
What?
bounce.
Luffy-
Man.
I said
I-
Luffy bounced off floor. Oh, that's true. I
Yeah.
did say that. That was funny.
Yeah.
That was unintentional, but that was very funny of me.
It's like that was unintentional, but goddamn, I'm hilarious. This was a call it moment for me from about 250 episodes ago or something, and so yeah. A great hype moment, definitely a top 10 re-listenable moment on our own podcast because I go fucking nuts when it happens.
I'm so sad that I wasn't there
Me
for that
too.
episode.
Yeah. That dark times in the kingdom.
Me too.
That was tragic.
So yeah, Sabo making his reappearance in the show, and then I'm glad that Sabo is a likable character also. Like he's just a fun character to have around and on screen.
Nice.
He's
nice.
a bit insane, but I love him very much.
He's got the
I
crazy
love it.
eye for
He
He
got
sure.
has
the fucking
insane
crazy
eyes. I'll never forget when he grabs that one guy's skull and he goes, "These
Yeah.
hands can crush a human skull." And it's like, what the
Yeah.
hell is wrong with this guy?
Oh yeah, I need to know more about Dragon Claw martial arts also. Real
I
soon.
also love Koala and Subo's relationship. I think they're very cute. And I
Yeah.
love that she's just sick of him because he keeps getting into trouble.
Just like doesn't follow orders.
Yeah.
There are so many rude habits that Sabo has that would make
Doesn't
anyone
answer phone
fed
calls.
up with him. Yeah.
Or wait, no, he does answer phone calls.
No,
he just hangs
he
up.
ignores them, so he doesn't answer. But when he does, he hangs up on you mid-sentence. Just super unruly. Nothing's changed in however many years he's been alive.
Can I say my
Amnesia and
favorite
all.
part in the Dressrosa?
Yeah.
Please.
I swear I have said this on the last podcast, but it's like my favorite scene. It's when Luffy and Sabo switch and Doffy.
Oh my god, is it Doflamingo
Yurish-
not recognizing?
him watching Sabo, clearly not Luffy. And they say to Doffy, Luffy's in the castle, and he stares at Sabo on screen and says, "What are they talking about?" And it's just giving, wait a minute, if Luffy's in the castle, who's in the Colosseum? And
Fucking sane.
it's just the stupidest Doffy moment
It's so
ever because it
dumb.
feels like a Bugs Bunny bit.
Yeah.
And-
it was
Literally
insane.
a Scooby Doo moment.
It
Yeah.
is. And like, it kills me because not only are we getting close-ups of Sabo's face as Doffy's watching the screen, you can see his blonde hair from under his goddamn helmet.
You could see the fake scar they put on the
Yeah, you
eyes.
can
It
see
looks
the
like it was made with
sticker.
bubble gum.
And he's not stretching anymore or anything. And it's like,
Nope.
Duffy.
And he has a lead
He's
pipe.
got a lead pipe. Like, what is happening?
He also might be like 5 inches taller, maybe. Like there's
Yeah.
so many obvious red flags, but the best part about that scene that you're describing, and this happens throughout the series, or rather the arc. There's a very particular sound cue that they use whenever Doflamingo is having an aneurysm,
Oh,
and his
yeah.
forehead
Is it
brain
the-
just squelches.
Is it the piano going, oh, wait, are you talking about when his vein pops?
Yeah, when his
Yeah.
vein pops,
when his
cue.
brain starts throbbing.
There
Yeah,
are 2
it
sound
is-
cues they use for Doffy, and that's one of them. The other one is like the piano going, "Da-da-da," and he like just like, or is it's like strings or something, and it's like always
Yeah.
really dramatic and really threatening.
But
Yeah.
that blood squelch vein popping sound that gets used a healthy amount of times during this arc
He
is
looks like he has-
fantastic.
Worms in his brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got parasites.
Same.
That would make sense. But yeah, I love that scene. And something I really like, this is like a general thing of Dressrosa, is I love how you can see the shift of how Toei treat Law during Dressrosa. Because I don't know if you guys know this, Law is like a top favorite character amongst women, specifically in Japan. Like he's a top favorite.
Oh, we've heard.
And there are
I don't
so
remember hearing it, but I'm not surprised.
There are so many scenes in the Dressrosa anime where, speaking as a woman, it's like, am I being targeted right now? Because there's many a scene where he's like on the ground and like grunting and whining. To the untrained eye, that's just Law going through it. To the trained eye, that feels very, very strange. And it like there were so many of those scenes. And they also got a voice actor that's like a popular voice actor too. So it just felt there was just such a shift of how Law was treated from like this cool boy from Subodhi. Then Punk Hazard, he was getting silly. And now in Dressrosa, he's just like flopping, carried, whining, in pain princess that needs help. And it's like, this is absolutely insane that they've shifted him
So
to
are you
this
telling me
extent.
that Law is the fan service character that is designated for women at large?
100%. In Dressrosa, he was.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. We love,
Because they had
we
to
love
get rid of
that.
Sanji.
I just see this as a side effect of the dum dum fruit. Like it one made him dumber, and 2, it just made him physically nerfed.
Oh, and also his magic chains as well. They made me laugh so much when I first watched the anime. They just kept changing lengths. And I was always confused about whether they were long or short because, again, they couldn't decide how long the chain actually was for some reason.
How much
Magic
mobility is this guy
chains.
allowed to have? We can't figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the handcuffs.
Yeah, the handcuffs that he had,
Yeah.
the sea stone cuffs, they were sometimes
Right,
really
right.
long and sometimes they were like 3 inches. And it's like, I don't understand.
It's a visual for what kind of budget they still have for the episodes.
How many links can we have this episode?
Yeah. A lot of length, good budget. No length, no budget.
But yeah, there were many scenes in Dressrosa in the anime that were lore specific that were just so funny. Lore became like my second favorite character because of Dressrosa, because of how,
Hell yeah.
just, how do I say this? I don't want to say how vulnerable he was, but just how like silly and how nervous and how Luffy just threw him in for a loop, and we just never seen Law panic like that, and I really appreciated that and his backstory and everything. But yeah, that's like getting into everything, but I think we'll be talking about that soon.
Yeah, I will agree. Highlights for me, Law as a character in general, this arc cements Law as one of my favorites for now till Kingdom Come. I love the power. God bless Time Skip, by the way. Law's initial design, what he's wearing is cool. Law has Slenderman measurements. He is long and lanky. He's a little off-putting. Post Time Skip, they give him like, just better proportions. He's got better facial hair. The new attire he's wearing is also kind of sick. Law just got an upgrade across the board. I love it. Good times.
Thank you so much for saying that, because I made fun of his pre-Time Skip outfit in my Law video. The amount of people in the comments, and I want to say specifically men, that went, "What are you talking about? His pre-Time Skip fit was awesome. It was a bowl hat, a bucket hat, a hoodie, and jeans. That is all he was wearing, and I do not understand why
You
they
have
were so."
described the
It's a
attire
vibe.
He looks
for
like
most
a junkie.
men of the world, I think.
I just didn't understand. But he looks so much like nicer now. Like I really prefer his fit now. So I didn't understand why people were so offended by me saying his pre-Time Skip fit was just greasy looking, because it was.
If hoodies are greasy, then why do all my ex-girlfriends steal my hoodies? Checkmate.
Makes a good point.
So besides Law stuff, I actually really like the Coliseum. Just fighting is cool. I'm big dumb. I like Fisco. Moosey. God bless the bro. Moosey, MVP. MVP of the arc for a large portion of it, especially during One Piece.
I'm still concerned about Moosey's hoof care. They never really elaborated on what happened to Moosey.
Yeah, Gene Abdullah were taking care of him, and then Gene Abdullah popped back in without Moosey. Let's not think about it too hard.
Big sad.
Did they fucking eat them?
What? That's where you went to. But also now you think
I'm
about
just saying, last time I saw Moosey was with them. Now he ain't there.
like I said, let's not think about it too hard.
I need you to
No,
not.
I'm concerned now. Where's Moosey?
Moving on.
I'm going to need you to not.
Barto is a vibe and a half.
Oh, yes, please.
I never thought, it's been so long, I never thought this character would be such like a huge fan favorite amongst all of us.
I fucking love him.
God bless that guy. I really like Kiros's side plot a lot more than I remembered or think I would. I was really invested to just all the god awful shit that man went through, and I'm really glad he got to defeat what's his flag fucker's name, Diamante in a 1v1, because he needed that and I needed him to have that. I had so much writing on Kiros defeating his arch nemesis in Diamante and getting the rightful revenge that is owed to him. Because if Kiros lost a 1v1 or needed like too much help, I my heart would have been broken. I'm like, nah, this ain't right, bro. This isn't the comeuppance he deserves. This isn't the justice he deserves. So I'm glad Oda made the right decision in terms of that writing. Other thing that I really like is just with the introduction of Gear 4th and Devil Fruit Awakening. I'll also there's just a lot that gets put into motion and a little bit of like lore enrichment for me personally as the arc continues, introducing Big Mom and Kaido, just really setting up these pieces for whatever Oda's grand ending is. Like, we don't see the picture yet, but we can see it started. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Right. And here we are numerous years later after the fact, and Grand Vision still has yet to really make its appearance.
I was going to say with Kairos, as much as I like his story as well, I really, really like his relationship with Rebecca, because I always have a soft spot for shows or anything that go into the relationship between a father and their daughter. Because in my opinion, Oda's done that quite a few times, but he always does it very well. And it hits these days because, of course, Oda has 2 daughters of his own. And sometimes when he writes like fathers wanting to protect their daughter, it feels like it comes from a personal feeling that he has. Like it feels very from the heart to me. But Rebecca at first somewhat frustrated me because I missed information. I missed tidbits. I didn't realize once again that she was being forced to fight in the Colosseum. I thought she was like just doing that because she was trying to defend her dad's honor or something until she didn't know who he was. I know now, of course. So at the beginning, I was frustrated because I thought Rebecca was just, she's just a stereotypical, crybaby girl. But then, of course, you get her flashbacks with her dad. And the whole time her dad was saying she was always a soft girl, and it pains him that Rebecca had to fight like that to keep herself alive. And like, it's just so sad, that he had to forcefully watch his poor daughter fight for her life nearly every day until he could finally jump back up as a human and protect his little girl again. And it's just like, that hit me so hard because of like, just the connection those 2 had with each other and how sweet it was. I really, really like the way Oda wrote Kairos and Rebecca's relationship.
Yeah, 100% agree. Speaking of that somewhat similar relationship, I don't want to gloss over Corazone's backstory. In particular, me and Christian gushed over the scene, but the incredible action sequence where Corazon breaks into this little hideout that X-Drake's father's in, I forgot his name, DS Barrows, breaking into the hideout of the DS Barrows pirates, and just the way that whole scene is designed in terms of like really using Corazone's power to just mute sections of the scene. It was something I've never seen before.
Silencer.
Yeah, it was incredible. I've never seen something like that in media before. At least nothing I can remember. And it was just so cool. It was great.
I will say there was a scene, I remember this so well because it made me laugh so hard, when he was first stealing the op fruit for Law and he was silencing everything. I don't know why Toei did this. As Corazon was like trying to be silent, stealing the fruit, they played this like Matrix-esque like music as he was going into Robert, and it was so off-putting and the tone was ridiculous, and I was like, why are they playing like this? And I was like, what the hell is happening? It should be dead silent as he's trying to get this fruit away from these people, and instead they're making it like a cool action sequence as Law's like dying across the road from him. But it was fantastically well done. And I remember I had a friend who said they are so happy that they watched the anime before reading the manga for that, because they said that Corazon's power was so well encapsulated by the anime, and the manga just would not have been able to do that as well, because of course manga doesn't have sound. So when they did that in the anime and they completely silenced everything, including Law.
So good.
Yeah, it was truly made, for its medium. So I agree with them. I'm glad I watched the anime scene of Corazon and Law before I read the manga. Even though the manga, it was still fantastic. Oda did a really good job at portraying it. But the anime just tears your heart out with how it presents the scenes.
Now that you guys brought this up, it kind of makes me, think for just half a second. Like one of the most memorable moments in the show are where the music does not fit the anime at all. Guitar or like Zoro's guitar riffs. Still miss those.
Yeah, bring back Zoro's guitar riffs, dude.
Like that. We have Matrix Corazon. Like it's just like where we have like our normal music versus the
some scenes they did do fantastically well in the anime. There was what episode was it? I think it was 600.
It's crab guillotine, isn't
99 maybe? I don't know. But it was just before we were about to get into Law's backstory, and it was Doflamingo thinking about Law as... No, that's right. I remember the scene. I don't remember the episode number. It might have been 689, but it was Law and Luffy running towards Doflamingo as Luffy yells Doflamingo's name. And then we cut to Doflamingo, who's thinking about Law, because of course we don't know their relationship yet. And then it shows a tidbit of Law when he's like 10, telling Doflamingo he doesn't care about anything anymore. He doesn't care about life anymore. He just wants to destroy. And they're in like that industrial like factory. and you hear the clanking of machinery as it gets louder and louder and louder and louder, and it sounds like a heartbeat. And then it zooms in on like Law and Doffy both just looking at each other, and then it cuts. And that was such a well done scene because it gets your heart racing because of course you don't know what the hell's going on, and seeing Law like that and seeing Doffy like that is just terrifying because you don't know their relationship yet. So some of the sound design that they did during Dressrosa was really, really fantastic. And God, it makes me want to watch it again because I have watched Dressrosa too many times.
Another enthusiast. We love that. Any other moments we want to talk about?
Sanji and Viola and their Latin soap opera.
Oh, that was so cute.
I fucking love it.
Oh.
I still picture Kappa going like, Rebecca also. But
Yeah, that was adorable. That wasn't the Sanji and Viola, in my opinion, was you brought him up. Now I have to talk about him. Was
Please do. I love Viola.
That was
I think she's
No,
fantastic.
she's gonna talk about Sanji.
not yeah.
That was another example.
I can dream.
I do like Sanji and Viola. I do like their characters individually, by the way, and together. But that was an example, in my opinion, of like Sanji's, very good sides coming out again. Because if you remember during Water 7, this was a line that some people got really frustrated over, and it still confuses me. When Sanji said to Chopper, "A man always forgives a woman's lies," or like a man must always forgive a woman's lies, right? And so many people going, "Oh, blah blah," about that. Dressrosa is one of the arcs where what Sanji said there, he was correct because Viola was lying to Sanji about what she was doing and while she was doing these things. And Sanji was persisting, "I know your tears are real. I know something's wrong here." And he was right. She was totally trapped and she just couldn't say it. So she had to lie to him to try and protect herself until he managed to get the truth out of her and made him realize she does need my help, actually. And Viola's, true nature and fondness and kindness comes out because of Sanji believing in her and not taking her tears for granted or as like a lie or anything devious. And it was just a beautiful thing for Sanji to do to see past, the mask that this woman is wearing because he wants to help her, even if that's just, what Sanji does.
Sanji's emotional intelligence goes crazy.
It's just his kindness in full force, even though she beat the shit out of him, he still refused to believe that she wasn't in trouble.
Your kicks, they're filled with pain. I can feel them with every hit.
Her big
What's
whale
wrong,
tears.
Viola?
Oh yeah, of course. And the little tontata girl, woman, is stuck in Zora's Bahubas. That was fantastic. I really like that.
Okay, speaking of, bro, that fucking Tontata chief just residing in fucking Robin's bust. What the fuck's going on with that, man?
Yeah, there was a lot of boobage in Dressrosa, I'll say that much.
Yeah,
there's a whole lot of
Rebecca's
boobage going on. Yeah.
Robin, there's a lot.
There was so much booba in Dressrosa.
Literally, Senor Pink's crew.
Yeah, his little posse.
The guards all unanimously just decided to stop being Spartan warriors and just being ladies in bikinis.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look, my opinion will always be, as long as the story's good, Oda can write with one hand for all I care. I just want to know what's going on.
That's pretty good.
I'm not here to
I just
shame
pieced
a
that
man.
together a little bit. Oh no.
Oh, Justin, my sweet summer child.
Yeah,
It was
you-
funny, and then I realized why it was funny. I was like,
oh, she's talking about masturbation.
Kevin's spelling it out for all the people out there who are going like, what?
Yeah, just in case.
Just in case. You never know. There might be people like me who just don't get it yet. But yeah.
I can't. It's just hard to. Sorry, it's just hard to fault Oda for it sometimes because I know people get like. Listen, I know people get.
Hold up.
Listen to me. Listen to
Rebecca's
me.
armor is a pretty big fault.
Okay, no.
Where is the support? Where is the protection?
Rebecca's a bit different, but when it comes to like some of like the Robin scenes and stuff, I'll be totally honest. If I could draw, I would probably also be drawing like beautiful busty women. I'm not gonna lie. So it's like I can't fault the man for that. But Rebecca's armor is kind of frustrating because it's like she was forcefully encaged in there, and it's like she probably was forced to wear that by Doflamingo because the second she's out of the Colosseum, she's now wearing a beautiful like full covering frilly dress. So it's like kind of Erda's kind of, but it's like, it does make sense, but I don't like it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, this isn't a Noda thing. This is definitely a Toei thing, knowing who their audience is, and I hate them for it. Literally boobs flopping in the wind. Like,
or the zooming in shots that they constantly did. Like, hey, by the way, there's tits on screen. Let's pan away now.
To be fair, that's a Toei problem and not really an Oda problem.
Yes, it is definitely a Toei problem. It is insane. But I'm glad we all have a consensus on it. I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself. Let me not dig a hole.
No, do it. No, come on. This is a safe place. You're among friends.
And enemies.
Well, you know.
To be fair, you did that yourself.
Yeah.
Just Vinland Saga. You have no enemies.
Why ruin the surprise, remember?
Sorry. I know I know Brendan had touched upon this a couple weeks ago, but we can maybe touch upon it again, especially if Mel has more depth to bring to the table. But Dressrosa gets compared to Alabasta due to the parallels it has. You have the Arc Princess that joins the crew prior to, I guess, going to not their homeland in this case, but before their true destination is, I guess, the best way to put it. Vivi's from Alabasta. She wants to go back to take over to topple Crocodile.
Yep.
Law needs to go to Dressrosa to defeat Doflamingo. There's the whole parallel of Shishibukai taking over a country. There's obviously the whole like underground market kind of things happening where, well, I guess the casino isn't exactly underground black market, but you know, there's just like something beneath the surface of everything happening, right?
Yeah.
And then Brendan pointed out the cool detail of when Luffy defeated Crocodile, he was revealing him to the world because no one had an idea of like who was pulling the strings behind this whole civil war going on.
Who was shifting the sand.
Yeah, exactly. Shifting the sand. Nice. So he revealed the baddie to the world, and then the inverse happens in Dressrosa, where my man is like, bro, everyone knows who you are. You've outed yourself. I need to knock you off your high horse. And he puts him through Dressrosa, 6 feet deep at minimum, probably more.
Sends the demon into hell.
Also gets pushed into the ground of.
No, Crocodile gets hit up.
Yeah.
He also gets hit down.
Well, the final move is up, though.
The final move, yes, set into the heavens.
up through the ground, out of the shadows, into the light.
Into the rain.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, which way is up?
Well, up.
Because, like, they were underground, if I recall correctly.
Correct.
I'm not, you know what? No, I'm not entertaining this.
Correct.
Welcome to the crew.
You know, I just want to make this little comment. You know what I love about our guests so far is that they all managed to just fit right in. A perfect example is Mel knowing not to nibble on whatever bait Devin's trying to throw out there.
And Mel spoiling something for us.
No,
that really...
never live that down. I'm thinking about that.
But also the bonding also of a rat.
Apple rat.
So
the true unexpected moment of this week.
For real though, like actually, fucking
no
apple
one had
rat
on their bingo card.
Nobody had apple rat and Mel on their bingo card.
I love rats. If anyone in here like knows me and like has seen my Twitter, I love rats. Of course, I was going to zone in on the two frame animation apple rat.
I clearly did not do enough research on our guests prior to today.
How could you?
That's on me.
I thought we were friends.
I'm so sorry to let you down, buddy. I don't know if there's anything any of you want to contribute to the whole Alabasta Dressrosa comparison.
For me, Dressrosa feels like the result, the terrible result of what Alabasta could have been. Because Dressrosa was in a very precarious spot of, Doffy had taken over, but the issue wasn't that he had taken over. The issue was everyone thought he was the good guy. So Luffy and Law at that point in time, they couldn't win because the whole town, the whole place was for Doflamingo. Crocodile was nearly at that point, but because Vivi was still their princess and Riku was still... No, not Riku. What's his name? Cobra was still their king. Crocodile was in the area of about to push the powers and make it so he was the one they all loved. but they still loved Vivi, and Vivi still had that hold on Alabaster that Crocodile didn't have. Rebecca, Riku, Kairos, all of them, on the other hand, they didn't have that power because Doffy had taken that away from them, which is incredibly cruel. He turned their people against them in the worst way you could possibly imagine. Literally, like the hellish, just absolutely hellish with what he did.
The scene of Riku just
crying as he's killing his people.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So it's like, Dressrosa was so much more terrifying because Doflamingo, of course, is a terrifying man, but it's because he had the power of the people on his side. And it's a showing of just how powerful that is, because when we get to the end of Dressrosa and people are actually seeing Doflamingo for the mad, conniving man that he is, everyone starts rooting for Luffy, and we see how angry that makes Doflamingo. He's so pissed off to the point he tries to kill the announcer because he's upset that the people have now turned against him, because Doflamingo knows how powerful the people's opinion is and people's support is, and he probably knew or didn't want to admit the second they started rooting for Luffy instead of him, he was cooked, because he's now lost the favor of the kingdom. And that's why he said, I'm just going to destroy this place now, fuck it. I have no need for this island anymore. He lost it. So Dressrosa was just an example of a terrible, terrible outcome for what Alabaster could have possibly been. And it makes us relieved to watch Alabaster and go, thank God it never got to that point, and Vivi never had to suffer through the horrors someone like Rebecca had to suffer through. Because she nipped that in the butt before it became anything bigger. Also, sorry, the police are after me. I don't know if you can hear that.
That was me. I called them about 10 minutes after the spoiler happened.
But yeah.
But don't worry, a rat is going to be your attorney.
Oh, thank God. But yeah, it feels like the reason Law was the one doing the most against Doflamingo is because literally no one else could. Law at that point in time was the only one who had any kind of freedom, or I guess flexibility, and had the knowledge that Doflamingo was this terrible, because Rebecca couldn't do anything, King Riku couldn't do anything. Law was the only one out there that could actually plan around Doflamingo and want to take him down. Because again, the power of the people is a very big thing. And Dressrosa showed us that, and showed us just how detrimental that is, and how that could have ruined Alabaster had Vivi not, again, nipped that in the butt.
That is very insightful. I had not considered that, so thank you.
So I have one question for Christian.
Huh?
Imagine if they had done another Pell in this arc.
My God.
I wish they did. I truly wish they did.
Talking about?
Pell's the funniest thing that ever happened. I don't understand why people hate him so much. I love
Pell is the worst
Why
thing.
is he alive?
No. Pell in and of himself is fine.
I can't say this.
Pell in and of himself is fine. The fact that he lives at the end of the arc is not fine. Now, you could make an argument that, kind of Sabo is kind of the Pell of this arc, but
sorry, Luki. Anyway, keep going.
It's just no. Don't put that energy out there, Devin. I really, really don't want that.
Well, it's okay. After what we recorded the other day, I think I have some other energy coming up soon.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
Incredible. So moving on to our next point here, I wrote character analysis on Law and Dofi. This is mostly for Mel.
Oh, God.
And realistically, what this is meant for is these guys can't watch your YouTube videos yet, and the Law Doflamingo video was the second one I encountered. And I'm a big fan of your work personally. I don't think that's a secret to anybody who knows me or has ever spoken to me.
Right.
Give me the
so I
spark
can't
notes.
make them watch your video yet. I think that Dressrosa one though. I think if I just make them skip the first 10 seconds, they can watch the whole thing through. But the floor is yours. Feel free. You have the mic now. Say all the things.
Boy, I've just rolled up my sleeves. I feel like I've been sentenced to the podium.
Oh God, just unleashed the beast.
Let's pretend
Careful,
I have.
there's cuffs over there.
Let's pretend I've got a PowerPoint out. I'm have a stick and I'm pointing at it. Okay. So the reason I like Doflamingo so much is because he is such a well-crafted villain, not in terms of cartoonishly evil, because he is cartoonishly evil, but in terms of how he functions and how he works, he's not just evil for the sake of being evil. He's not just, oh, he's bad because we're told he's bad. We actively watch through Law and through his crew how he works and how he manipulates people. He's terrifying to me because he runs his horde of like crewmates like a cult. He doesn't run it like a captain. He always gives them positive affirmation. He always is saying like, you know, like we see it with what's his name? The guy with the sword that's like really long.
Oh,
no.
Diamante.
Bellamy is one of them. Yeah, Diamante. We see it with Diamante. Diamante's going, oh, Duffy, I can't do it. And Duffy goes, oh, yes, you can. You're like the best. I truly believe that you can do this. And Diamante's going, okay, yeah, I'll get up and I'll go do this. And he does that with all his crewmates. And on the surface, it seems like, oh, he just loves his crew. But there's like a rot under there where he's... Oh, but there's a rot under there where he's basically like taking the insecurity of these people and he's turning it in his favor and he's making them submit to him and be their leader, because none of them calls him captain. I don't think any of them even really call him by his name. They always call him young master. And that's very strange to me and very odd to me when you're a pirate crew. And all of his crewmates, or nearly all of them, we see through their flashbacks, they were in very vulnerable positions. Baby 5 especially. We know Corazon was throwing out the kids because he knew that these kids would be groomed by Doflamingo. Doflamingo even openly says to Law, I am going to groom you to become the next Corazon. That's a wild thing to say directly to the face of a child, right? I am going to groom you to become the perfect soldier. He never hid his intentions ever. But because Doflamingo offered a semblance of home and safety and family, he always uses the word family, the Don Quixote family, all his crew members were going, yeah, he's the best, he really loves us, but they're tools to him, and I will stand by that they are nothing but tools to him, and he's finally polished and sharpened them to do exactly what he wants them to do, even giving up their lives for him. And them giving up their lives is not in the same sense that Luffy's crew would give up their lives for Luffy, because Luffy refuses to let that happen. Doflamingo has just allowed it to happen sometimes. When Monet and Virgo were being taken out in Punk Hazard, everyone uses that as, oh, but he was saying goodbye to them. Those two were saying, Doffy, we're about to blow up the factory and we're about to kill ourselves for you. If that were Luffy would say, absolutely not, I'm coming to get you, not doing that. Instead, Doffy was going, okay, oh, if you have to, go ahead, blow up the factory and die. You're my most loyal servants. That is so dangerous and manipulative. That is not loving someone. That is using someone. So when Law is introduced and Doffy says the scariest things, he says, I truly saw myself in that kid's eyes. I saw my own violence in Law's eyes. And then he reads about Law's past, about Flevance, because he wants the knowledge of what happened to Law so he can use it against Law, because he needs to know these things so he can sympathize with Law. Because when that one guy freaks out and like, oh my God, he's got lead poisoning, it's contagious, Doffy's the only one to say, oh, it's not contagious, don't say that. And of course, he's saying that because he wants Law to feel safe with him, because that's how he gets you. And as Law is with Corazon, he's still screaming, I want to go back to Doflamingo, I want to see Doflamingo. They get to that point where Corazon's desperate to show Law Doflamingo does not care about him. He just wants to use him for his own gain. When he's hid Law in that chest behind him and he's talking to Doflamingo. And I love this conversation so much because it's point blank showing what Doflamingo does. And Corazon says to Doffy, why do you want Law so bad anyway? Why are you trying to capture him again? There's like, what's the point of this? And of course, that's when Doflamingo says to Corazon just chilling words, because if he's eaten the op-op fruit, he needs to learn that he has to die for me. And that sends a shiver through Law, because he realizes in that moment how much Doflamingo doesn't care about him and how much Doflamingo swindled him and tricked him into thinking he cares, when really Law is just another tool to him, and he wants to teach Law that Law's life is his. Law's life is not his own. It'll forever be tied to Doflamingo. And that's why throughout all of Dressrosa, Doflamingo is saying terrifying things to Law, and he's treating Law like a child, because Doflamingo has a power over Law that is so well executed. Every time he talks to Law, it's always, you're a child, you're a brat, you're a squirt. And he says, this doesn't involve you. You need to be listening to me. Like, you're being very naughty, essentially, is what he's saying to Law. Law is a full-grown man, but he's so terrified of Doflamingo, he feels like a child around him, and he can't shake that. And that's why he just can't beat Doflamingo, because this is his abuser. And he can't stand seeing Doflamingo, standing up to Doflamingo, because he's a victim of Doflamingo. And Law even outright says, you don't have a family. You just gather people who you think are useful and you call them a family by manipulating them. And Law knows that because he witnessed that. He experienced that and he lived that. And he's still living that. And that's why Doflamingo terrifies him so much. And the whole time Doflamingo talks to Law through Dressrosa, it's so manipulative that it terrifies me. And he's always getting under Law's skin because Law's desperately trying to be the bigger person and he's trying not to emote or show any emotions around Doflamingo. He even says to Luffy, you cannot be expressive around Doflamingo because that's how he uses you. But Law can't help himself because he's so terrified of Doflamingo and he acts out of line. And every time Law does something, Doffy always goes, this was my plan all along. You're here because of me. You're doing this because of me. Your life belongs to me. And it's just ripping Law apart because he thinks it's true deep down because of how terrified he is. And their relationship is just such a good example. Sorry, I'm going on. But their relationship is just such a good example of how, in my opinion, like, these cult leaders work and how they're just tearing lives apart and just making, like, people their tools, essentially, and how you manipulate someone to the extent that they can't even stand up to you because they're too terrified to want to do that because they think they are powerless against you. And that's why Doflamingo is one of my favorite villains ever, because Oda just displayed that so well. And he truly terrifies me to the point he's even got the string fruit and manipulates everyone like puppets. Like, you know, it's all there. But yeah, that's about the most of it.
This kind of reminds me of something. Hey, Justin, remember those times when we were recording and you were like, no, he cares about his family?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was lying. I know it.
I think that was very clear.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
One of my favorite things to say is, and it's like everyone can have their own interpretation. I'm not going to deny that, but I will adamantly be against the fact that Doffy cared about his crew because Doffy straight up said that everyone's below him. He thinks he's a god that's been taken off his throne and he wants that throne back. He outright said that everyone who wasn't a Celestial, basically, even the Celestials, were like dirt beneath his feet. That any normal person was just nothing to him. And it's like, that includes his crew. He was probably disgusted to live amongst these people because of him believing that he's better and bigger and a god. And it's like, I just simply do not think this man is capable of loving anyone but himself, essentially. And anytime someone says, no, but he did show like loving his crew and he did love his crew a lot, I always say, congratulations, you're susceptible to being indoctrinated into a cult. Because it's just so manipulative what he does. And it's just not true. It's not love. You know, what he does is not love. It's not caring. It's just his own needs to get power.
Mm-hmm. One moment that sticks out to me is on the rooftop between Doflamingo, Trouble, and Luffy and Law. Law kind of goads Trouble into a trap, just kind of, basically telling him the truth of like, this guy doesn't care about you. You're just another puppet to him. And Trouble goes on a rant of like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, yeah, he's my young master, but like we're on equal playing fields. And I was actually really astonished by Doflamingo's silence in that moment because he could have either like lied and said, yeah, Trouble, you're right. I would never view as beneath. We're equals here. We're all part of the family. Or he would have like, through the stress of everything going down, he would have just like flipped his lid and be like, no, you were beneath me. Now stop acting stupid and stop letting this guy goat you into it. He was silent during that entire scene. I found that really,
yeah,
like that really stood out to me surprisingly. Like that,
I think that's the most gripping thing he could have done.
Yeah, like the inaction of that entire scene from him is somehow the most unexpected thing of what his options were at that moment. So I found that really interesting. Thank you for your analysis.
Oh God, that's okay. I think the scariest thing as well, because someone brought up Corazon. I didn't bring up Corazon. He kept Corazon around because Corazon was his blood brother, and again, Doffy thought his blood was just precious. So everyone goes, why did he accept Corazon back? Because this was a fellow Celestial, and I think he saw worth in that. But again, this is not love. Doflamingo's way of, you will apologize to me, is by dying. He would shoot people and would say, it's okay, I forgive you. And then he'd shoot them dead, because that's his forgiveness, essentially. He did it to his dad, he did it to Corazon, and he was about to do it to Law, and even said, I'll forgive you the same way I forgave my brother. By shooting you in the head, essentially. And it's like,
you can only atone for your mistakes in death.
Exactly.
By no longer making any.
He couldn't stand betrayal because Doflamingo needed control. So whenever anyone betrayed him, that was like the worst thing you could ever do, because he needs to be smarter and he needs to be your, king, essentially. So he was desperate to get Law back. He was trying to get Law back with sweet, sweet words, because Law was valuable and he needed Law's fruit to be able to want to live forever. And the whole time he's trying to be the bigger person. It's just terrifying. He's like, Doflamingo does this thing that I cannot stand that people do, where he acts like he's smarter, he's calmer. He actually doesn't care as much, because he would say to Law, he said it 3 times to Law, oh, I wish we could sit and have a drink and talk about this. How infuriating is that? And how terrifying is that? When he's threatening Law with his life, and he outwardly said, yeah, Law needs to die for me. That's his place. And he's saying to Law, oh, why don't we sit down and have a drink? He'd win. And he knows he'd win in that moment, because Doflamingo is very good with his words. He's very sweet with his words. And Law is susceptible to that, because Law was a broken kid. He's still a broken person, very broken. And Law wanted that affirmation and he wanted that love. And if Corazon weren't the powerful figure that he were to Law probably would have caved. But because he had Corazon tattooed all over him, essentially a religion to Law, honestly, he would have lost to Doflamingo, and he nearly did. The only reason he didn't is because Luffy was with him, and Luffy could see that Doflamingo was a bullshitter, and he refused to give in to Doflamingo. So thank God for Luffy.
Couldn't have said it better myself, and by better I mean at all. So thank you. You give a more detailed depiction of why I like Doflamingo. I simply surmise it as he is the most evil ever presented to me in this story so
monster, and he's great
I agree.
at being a monster.
Yeah.
He is a monster. He's really good at being one. It's wow, you're so utterly terrifying, but so charismatic. And that's just personality wise. Forget the cool power, the cool drip. And then there's also Law, where I'm he's broken emo kid with cool power. That's me. Everyone wants to be Law. I want to be Law. All right. And also want to be Zoro.
Not same.
I'm trying to be Barto.
Am I trying to be like Barto? I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Thank you for your input. There's people in the chat saying, "Yo, can we get a part 2 for analysis on this whole arc?"
I saw that. I do really want to talk about how, because something about One Piece's found family, right? And Luffy and the Straw Hats are peak found family. They're wholesome found family. And one of the reasons I also really like Doflamingo and his crew is because that's flipped. They're still found family, but it's the negatives and the dangers of the wrong found family. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of these, exactly, because a lot of the members of the Don Quixote family, or the Doflamingo family, had they had the chance to, if they were picked up by anyone else, could have been in a very happy situation, could have had a crew that all loved each other, could have had a captain that cared about them, but they had the unfortunate situation of meeting Doflamingo first, and because of that, their lives again were not their own anymore. They didn't have a crew that actually cared for their own dreams and their own well-being, because it's what were their dreams aside from Doflamingo wanting power? Their dreams were Doffy's dream, and it's while that is similar to Luffy and his crew, the rest of the crew still have their own wants and dreams and needs that they pursue. I don't remember anyone having that in the Doflamingo family, and even when they did, such as
there's
Senor
one,
Pink,
Baby 5.
and Doflamingo
Like
kept
wanting to
ripping
get
that away
married?
from her.
Yeah, Doflamingo kept taking that away from her, but then she finally got to leave.
She found it, yeah. But it was the same with Senor Pink. Senor Pink found a woman that he loved dearly, and while I'm still a bit iffy on Senor Pink, he loved her dearly, but he still couldn't put her above Doflamingo. He wasn't allowed to. And because of that, that tore them apart. And she essentially became brain dead because of running away due to the pain that had caused about him lying. He loved this woman so much, but Doflamingo's power was so evil that he couldn't separate from Doflamingo or even tell the truth to his wife, to his loved soulmate, because he was too entrapped by Doflamingo. And again, if this were Luffy, that would not have happened,
You know, to this day, I always ask, did Doflamingo ever know about Senor Pink's family? We're led to believe that
I think for
may
sure.
not have happened. And if that's the case, then a part of me wonders if that's like the smallest, teeny tiniest crack, for lack of a better term, that proves that like in some part, in the depths of Senor Pink, he knew that like the Doflamingo family was bad. He just couldn't necessarily call it out by its name in particular ways, but he knew he couldn't like have his family around that.
Yeah.
It's been a hot minute. How did his wife get the potato?
She ran out in a storm, and I guess she got like caught up in a mudslide, I believe.
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Doflamingo did it.
Doflamingo got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, every time there's like a semblance of love that people say Doflamingo has, because Baby 5's such a big example that they use, and it drives me nuts. Because it's like, oh, but like Baby 5 was being courted by like terrible, terrible men, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, Doflamingo stopped her from getting married, but it's not because those were bad men. It's because, again, Baby 5 was useful to him. And even when she meets her future husband, she's about to kill herself for him. And he stops her and says, oh my God, what are you doing? And she says, I just want to be useful. I just need to be useful. And he says, yeah, I suppose you grew up in a place that didn't tell you not to think like that. So he's essentially saying Doflamingo never actually bettered Baby 5. He never healed her. He was just using her. And Baby 5, was confused by that because she thought Doffy was good, but her husband was basically telling her this man is not good for you either. And he became her new saving grace. And that's what Doflamingo does. He doesn't heal anyone. He just keeps them broken so he can keep pulling them along, essentially. Again, it's just so evil. He's so evil.
So evil. Is there anything else about Dressrosa you want to talk about, or anyone else here want to talk about in particular?
Not really. I think I would just mention, because he's still a larger part of, especially the back end of it, just Fujitora and his ethics, and getting a different side of the Marines than we kind of usually do, where he's just really way more focused on doing the right thing and his personal brand of justice than we've seen exemplified by just about any other Marine. Because any other time we have a Marine, they might have some good in them, but Fujitora is very adamant about doing the right thing and presenting the right way to the public, and admitting fault is the big one. Admitting fault and that the Marines are not perfect, like Akainu would have you, and basically any other point in the history of the Marines would have you believe up to that point. So I already liked Fujitora before we get to the end of the arc, but the end of the arc and how he treats it just really solidifies in my head that Fujitora is probably going to be my second favorite Marine next to Smoker-kun.
I was actually going to ask, like, where's the placement there? Because
Smoker.
those two are kind of not replacements for each other, but Fujitora fills in a similar role that Smoker was kind of stepping into when he was more involved in the story.
Well, again, the difference there is Fujitora had been drafted to be a Marine. He didn't pick this. All the other Marines we've seen had picked to be a Marine. And that's why Fujitora now makes more sense to me, because throughout all of Dressrosa, he was just following along because that's what he was told to do. And then he obviously hits a point where he goes, something is totally not right here. And
Yeah, like
that's
his
when
combativeness with Maynard, where Maynard's like, dude, we should like arrest Luffy. He's like, I already rolled the die, bro. We're not going after him tonight. But like, we could just ignore that. And that's like a more goofy way of presenting the issue here. But like, Fujitora is like clearly presenting the idea of like, I have no grounds to arrest this man on. He literally saved a whole country because we are so royally bad at our jobs and protecting people.
And also because like, this is interesting, actually. I have a Marine video coming up, right? So I talk a little bit about this. Not about Fujitora, unfortunately. I didn't really mention him. But because the Marines have that sense of justice, right? Justice right. The reason I like Smoker and I like Fujitora is because the justice... Forgot them.
Where is he? Where is he?
But the reason so many of these Marines act the way they do is because they've been waxed, like polished, groomed into believing what justice is. It's not their own personal justice, it's the Marines' justice, or the Marines telling them, this is what justice is. And because they willingly joined up and they're listening and they're saying, so, yes, sir, they're going, okay, this is the justice I'm persecuting, essentially. Fujitora had not been in that system. He was not like raised and trained in that system. He had his own kingdom that he was looking after.
Did we know? I think we're treading on spoiler stuff because I don't know where any of this information is.
This was in Dressrosa.
This is all presented to us.
Yeah.
Fujitora was drafted into the Marines.
This was Dressrosa, my guy. I promise.
Oh,
this one, she's not at fault for.
I'm not involved.
Okay, I'm just curious because I'm like, this is new information that I have no memory.
This is your brain rot.
It's like he mentions it, but I must admit it does get a bit skipped over. But Fujitora wasn't like the other Marines because he wasn't like raised in that Marine system, essentially. He got forcefully put in the Marine system. And then Smoker, while he was in the Marine system, Smoker has his own sense of justice that he follows. He thinks the Marine sense of justice is absolute bullshit. And he even encourages Tashigi during Alabasta, you have to do what you think justice is, not what you've like been told what it is by the Marines. And that's why Tashigi does what she does. And that's why Smoker does what he does. Fujitora is the same. He does not believe in the Marine sense of justice. And he will do what he believes is right, not what he's been told is right. Which is why at the end he just refuses to go after Luffy. And he even says, what does he say? He says, God, I wish I didn't blind myself because I wish I could see what Luffy looked like. Because he said he sounds like he looks very kind, which is such a sweet thing to say, right?
I love it.
But no, I really like Fujitora now that I know this information again. And again, Smoker is similar. So I'm glad that you also like Smoker and you can see he's the GOAT, as the men say.
Mm-hmm. As the men say.
So I do have one question for Mel.
Yes.
Do you think Fujitora cheated?
At the beginning. Wait. Yes. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, okay.
So you think he cheated at those roulette tables?
Oh, 100%. He was not taking that seriously.
Oh, come on.
For sure.
He was like Toph from Avatar. He was having shits and giggles.
Exactly. You don't get it right 20 times in a row at it just like
He's
that.
He's just
dog.
that good, bro.
He's not that good.
He's that good, bro.
You're right. He is that good at manipulating his power and letting no one see it.
I had
you
to
said
say
it yourself a couple weeks ago. He's the honest Abel of the Marines. There is no way he would cheat.
Everyone has a vice.
I must say, one of the funniest things that did happen, because I love Fujitora's power, is when Zoro goes, oh, a swordsman, I'll have fun with this. And then Fujitora just squashes him.
Yeah.
And Zoro goes, what the hell? And then he gets sent through the floor and Zoro's gone. He never gets the chance to fight Fujitora because he got squashed like a bug.
He's still itching for the rematch after Luffy gets sent flying.
Yeah, he gets hopeful at the end, too. Where Fujitora shows up and Zoro's like, yeah, my time to shine. And then Luffy flies in and is like, nope, he's mine.
This reminds me, when I first started watching Dressrosa and they introduced Fujitora, I blinked too long. And I had missed the part where they explained that this is Fujitora's devil fruit power. I understood that he had a gravity manipulation of power. I didn't know it was a devil fruit.
So
I didn't know anything.
He could just do that.
You thought it was like hockey?
No. I couldn't explain why he had the power. I also thought it was the sword's power. Like Fujitora without the sword couldn't do anything. I thought the sword had eaten the devil fruit or something, and it was like, oh, his magical sword could just make meteors come down from the sky. So that was the thing I learned this
look
arc.
like something though.
I will
Because
say
typically when a weapon eats a fruit, they tend to look like another pet,
weird, yeah. I will say
like
though,
Funk Freed or Lasso.
Punk Hazard, not Punk Hazard, whoops, although Punk Hazard too, but Dressrosa was one of the arcs where with Zoro, he was like, this was some of the funniest Zoro moments came out of the Dressrosa arc. And Dressrosa is one of the arcs I use when people go, oh, Zoro's not silly anymore, Zoro doesn't smile anymore. I'm like, what are you talking about? He was an absolute klutz during Dressrosa. He had no idea where he needed to be. He had no idea where his swords were. He had no idea what to do. He was running up and down for ages in that arc, and he was screaming at Luffy, why didn't you add me in the Colosseum fight? I wanted to be in there too. Like, he was acting like an idiot all throughout the arc, and I loved it. And one of my favorite scenes ever for Zoro is when they go to the little Tontada area, and Frankie walks in, and Zoro's sitting on the floor with the Tontadas watching the Colosseum match like it's a Super Bowl. And it's like, he's
great.
just sitting crisscross with all the little guys and he's going, go Luffy. It's so cute. And it's like, this is one of the funniest arcs Zoro's ever had, in my opinion. And I feel like people forget about that. And when he has that whole scene where he's like, I need like an option to like get to Luffy or something, and he's like, option 1, I can call him with the snail transponder. Oh, I don't have that anymore. Option 2, I can just cut. Oh, I don't have my swords or something. Like, it was just he was so stupid
going through
and
his
so
5-step
endearing.
plan and realizing none of them work.
Yeah, none of them would
great.
work. And also like the weird things he said to Picker when he was like, oh, you're so big, you'll feel so good to slice. What the hell was that? Why is he saying these things?
Did I miss this?
What was that?
He said that. He 100% said that. And I remember he said that because I was shocked that he said something so bizarre and strange. And also getting catapulted across the sky by that one big guy
his
as
gums
well.
flopping. That
was
beautiful
so
scene.
funny. No, he was so funny during Punk Hazard, but he was funny during Punk Hazard. But Dressrosa, I thought he was just hilarious.
I think it's just been such a long time, and maybe my own brain rot's at fault for this. I think it's been a long time since we've seen Zoro this goofy.
He also says to Sanji, I hope you die. That's right. That was so funny. He's so funny. No, he was equally goofy during Punk Hazard, because Punk Hazard was a really, really funny arc, in my opinion. Punk Hazard is one of those arcs where when you reread it or rewatch it, you forget how many jokes are in it, and they always catch you by surprise and they always make you laugh. Zoro's just silly. He's a silly guy. And I feel like everyone forgets about that until he has a silly moment. Like, at least 10 times per arc, he's always silly. But I loved him very much in Dressrosa. I thought he was hilarious.
Beautiful. Moving on, I guess, to our next tidbit here is mostly for these two. Just expectations for the future. What do you expect to happen, or what do you want to happen?
I want Captain Jack to get another DUI, and
you've got to
destroy
stop.
the ship.
You got to stop referring inside jokes that people even here haven't heard yet, man.
I don't even care about that. I just want him to stop talking about DUIs.
I want to see it. I want to see Captain Jack get a DUI while freeing Doflamingo. That's what I want to see.
I for some reason, I'm not really sure why. I'm kind of expecting to visit an island made out of sweet things for some reason. Not really sure what's giving me this vibe, but some kind of dessert that everyone loves. Might be somewhat near in the future.
What are you talking about?
No
We're going
idea.
to Zoe, right?
No idea.
Well, yeah.
Never seen One Piece in my life.
But seriously though, I hope we get some kind of answer soon as to like where Big Mom's ship just disappeared to, and how the curly eyebrow pirates or whatever they were called
Twirly
got away just randomly. When we get those couple of episodes of the rest of them on Zoe, they're just somehow outran Big Mom's ship, and I'm just flabbergasted that this happened.
I do have to ask, what was your reaction to Doffy being a celestial?
I think it was well, they hint at when he suddenly is able to have the power to like call on people.
Yeah, the press.
Yeah, manipulate the press, and then and get that whole story out that was just a hoax and everything. Clearly at that point, I think at the time, I don't know if I necessarily called Celestial Dragon, but I called like high up in the Navy at a very minimum, because he has all of this power over the black market, and we already know that the Celestial Dragons utilize the black market for stuff like trafficking slaves. So I, in the back of my head, felt like it was always a possibility. But even when it's confirmed on screen, I'm like, shit, this is kind of sick, actually. What I did think, though, was his return to Dressrosa was not just about what it was, just taking over and then ruling this country. There was a point where he talks in like a flashback from his childhood, that he learns that Dressrosa used to belong to his family. And so I think before Doflamingo is proven to be the master manipulator that he is, I was under the impression that maybe he was trying to specifically reclaim his homeland after like Celestial Dragon life just got too boring for him. And he went down to Dressrosa just like because it would be different than Celestial Dragon life.
Took the bad route.
Yeah, it turns out complete opposite. He fucking loved being a Celestial Dragon and would not have given that up for anything in this world. He got dragged down against his will by his father. So that specific aspect I did not see coming, but him being a Celestial Dragon was not like 100% a surprise, but it was still really cool when it's confirmed on screen.
That is actually something I forgot to say with the Law and Doffy thing. When he's talking to Law about his past, which again, crazy that he's just saying all this, but he said to Law, by the time I was 10 years old, I'd seen heaven and hell on this earth. And that is just such an insane thing to say, because
brutal line.
What had Law gone through at the age of 10? Law had not only had a beautiful home, a beautiful family, a whole city that loved each other and everyone in it, a rich city as well. His whole city got massacred, totally ruined and destroyed by the lies that the government told with no help. And he is the last remaining survivor of his city and his family. And Doflamingo knows that. And he's saying to Law, yeah, I've seen heaven and hell. And it's like, what in the world is this like victim complex that this man has, that he thinks he's, I've been through the worst of the
strung
worst.
up and almost lynched by a mob,
yeah,
right?
No, he's gone through bad stuff. But it's like saying that to Law specifically when he knows that Law has also gone through just heaven and hell as well, in my opinion, is, again, it's like, I've suffered, therefore I get the final say on these things. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just an insane thing to say, in my opinion.
Like, we're not meant to compare traumas, but if we are.
Yeah, but I'm a Celestial Dragon, so mine's more valid.
Yeah, he was saying my life was worse than yours, so what I'm doing is validated. And it's like, what the hell?
God, I honestly, once again, I kind of forgot about the whole Flevon situation. Unbelievable what this kid went through, and that he's still like kind of okay.
He's not. He's not okay.
Insane.
No,
I mean, like, the fact he's still walking and hasn't like turned into Doflamingo thanks to the intervention of Corazon, I guess. But like,
I just want to know how he got over lead poisoning.
Through his fruit.
Yeah,
it was the fruit.
Do you know
the specific?
Yeah, like, do you know if that gets revealed in manga/anime, or is that like revealed in SBS? Because I want to tell them, but if it's going to be a spoiler,
no,
I don't
that's
say
just I don't think it's ever revealed. That's just one of those things where Law was a little doctor prodigy. He got the fruit, and he knew how to get rid of it because he had the fruit. That's just because I said so situation.
Yeah.
Listen,
I hate it.
Law's fruit works in weird ways, and we know this. Law can just do anything. I'm afraid that's like what he does.
Yeah, as far as I remember hearing, I don't know if where this got revealed or if this is mostly speculation, but the thought was that like Law literally just picked the lead out of his body.
Hang on a second, pause. So you hate the fact that Law got this little fruit, and it's like, it's just not really explained.
No, I hate the fact that they didn't cover or explain like a legitimate explanation for him
why
having lead poisoning.
Why do you need a legitimate explanation for that when Doffy can heal himself with drinks?
Well, welcome to my TED Talk of reasons why I hate the show. I could talk to you for hours about this.
I personally was just like, yeah, all right, he got the fruit and he could heal himself, whatever. I didn't care too much. That's like asking, why can Luffy stretch when he's gum gum? You know what I mean? Shouldn't he just melt?
This one I feel like is a little valid. Like, we would want to, like, even if he just said it magically went away, I would take that. I just want any explanation that is told to us from Law or anyone who witnessed it.
Well,
that's all we really want.
But the explanation is he could just do anything with his fruit.
My understanding was that like he literally just picked he did open heart surgery on himself and just picked the lead out of his body, which sounds insane, by the way.
Sounds like Iron Man.
I mean, he could have vroomed and then like displaced like the lead from his body.
Yeah, he used room to displace the lead from his body, and
but at least just say
I think there's plenty of inferences you can make. I don't feel like this needed to be explicitly stated here.
That's
I'm with Devin on this.
We have to get into a cage match now.
As Devin's advocate,
it's a tag
agree.
team.
Sometimes just adds a little bit of a little bit of salt to the dish.
A little bit of lead-based flavor,
Exactly.
Flavor.
But yeah, to add on, I also do really like the Flevant's backstory as well, because that was like another the Flevants, because that was another example of like the world government and the Marines just like being so authoritarian, you know what I mean? Just like they were begging these powers that be, like, why are you spreading these lies? And of course, it had nothing to do with keeping the people alive. They just didn't want the world to know that the jewelry, the white jewelry, was poisoned. They'd rather profit.
And money.
Exactly. They'd rather profit than save this whole city. And they just burnt it to the ground. And of course, like, that is terrifying. And I really love how Law was scared of the Marines and hated the Marines. And when Corazon was a Marine, he kept lying to Law because he like couldn't tell this kid he was a Marine because he knew he'd lose his trust. And even after that, Law still does not trust the Marines, obviously, because how possibly could you? But like, it just breaks Corazon's heart that this little boy was failed by like the world, the entire world. No one wanted to care about him and no one wanted to look after him because the powers that be said, no, he's a monster. And it's his fault that he's a monster, of course, even though it's not. Like, there was nothing he could do about that. And it's just the way that scene, like after they've been to all the hospitals and Corazon is getting drunk and he thinks Law's asleep. And he's the first person to say to Law, you poor boy, you poor thing. Like, I'm so sorry this has happened to you. And it makes Law cry because no one has ever, like, no one said that to Law since this has happened to him because they all thought Law was just a little monster. Not even Doflamingo said that to him. Doflamingo just went, yeah, I like that pain. I like that trauma. Keep that trauma because he's a freak.
You don't have enough hatred.
Literally, he was just like growing Law's hatred. Meanwhile, Corazon, in one single line, melted Law's heart by saying, I'm so sorry that this happened to you, you poor boy. And that's just heartbreaking, isn't it? All Law needed was just one authentic, loving, like, line, just anything that was just empathy, and he would have like trusted you. And it's just so sad to watch that happen. But I love Law being a living example, similar to Robin, of like just how the powers of One Piece's world are just so insanely corrupt to the point that they're terrifying.
Absolutely. My only to just talk about the future a little bit. I know I've said this on cast before. I just don't remember if I said it in a spoiler cast or in a regular episode. But I genuinely predict / want Usopp to have Conqueror's Haki because I think it would be the funniest gag. He already has some prowess with it with the display of observation Haki here in Dressrosa. And I think there's two parts to this for my own little ask and wish here. One, Usopp wants to be a brave warrior of the sea. That can be seen in so many different ways. I think a part of that is him kind of increasing his bravery enough. I don't know how to truly quantify that, but I think Usopp's going to get braver and maybe have some type of, maybe not battle prowess, but he'll just become more akin to a warrior and maybe our own like common understanding of what a warrior looks like. And I think
also
part of
want
it,
to keep going.
Also part 2 of Conqueror's Haki, just because like just imagine Usopp of all characters knocking out a field of goons. And it all just plays into the whole God Usopp thing, which I think would be funny.
So
I also want Usopp to have Conqueror's Haki, but my reasons are more malicious than yours. Because if he had Conqueror's Haki, the power scalers would tear their fucking hair out, trying to figure out what to do with him now. Because they hate Usopp. But they don't hate him, but they don't think he's very strong. So if he got Conqueror's Haki, that would throw everything out of loop. And the whole community would be up in flames trying to figure out where everyone goes after that.
Mel just wants to see the world burn.
I really do.
This thought just made me think of have you guys ever played the game where it's like you have to come up or you pick a superpower you want, but someone else picks a very bad side effect, like, oh, you could turn invisible, but only when people aren't looking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I want to see that with Conqueror's Haki now. Like, he gets Conqueror's Haki, but only when people aren't looking.
I think Devin's cooking here. There has to be like a funnier meme aspect to this. Like, I think it's like Usopp can knock out a field of goons that are like, I don't know, level 1.
But every time he
field
pisses
of level
his
2
pants.
goons would just like, make him piss his pants.
And everyone knows.
Everyone knows.
Oh, that's great. I love this. I haven't been here for the past couple weeks for you two. Kaido gets revealed to us, right? What were your thoughts about him? If you could just get him quickly.
Oh, Devin loves him and his desire to die.
To be fair, I just come off, when we record those, I just come off a night shift of working, so I was just like, yo, same.
Yeah.
Same. Respectful.
I love when he's like, oh, another failed suicide attempt. Oh, I'm just too strong.
I'm just too fucking good.
I'm also thoroughly convinced he doesn't believe in the ocean.
Yeah, I
that's
know,
fair.
right? It's so easy for him. But he's like, oh, I'm just too sexy. I can't die.
Yeah, well, my belief is that throwing himself into the ocean to die is just the easy way out. He needs that's like the surefire.
He just doesn't believe in it. It doesn't exist.
What if he has
The
tried
ocean's
the
not
ocean,
real.
but not even
my
the
God.
ocean worked?
Oof.
That'd be insane. He truly is
would be.
unkillable then. We've also come to the decision that Devin somehow miraculously with no context or knowledge whatsoever pulled
It was literally off of a fringe.
pulled the correct devil fruit for Kaido out of his fucking ass.
Hang on, wait.
Because Mel,
Pause for a second. When you
Say
said
that
the devil
sentence one more
fruit,
time, but very slowly.
what was the devil fruit?
Okay, so this is the theory and where it came from. It should be
I just
releasing.
want to say we have no confirmation for it. This is just us believing it's true now.
Okay. Okay.
So what happened was I believe at one point we see a cutscene of what's his name, Draco.
Malfoy?
No, not.
You talking about Aruge?
No. Where the theory came from. So we see
he's
like, Drake.
Okay,
Yeah, we see him and it alluded to the fact that he might be working for Kaido, right?
Oh, that.
And someone had asked, I think it was Brendan asked, or it was Brendan or Justin asked in the episode, hey, why do you think that is? And I went conspiracy theory turbo mode, and I went, okay, so Draco has the dragon fruit, but dinosaur, right? What if Kaido has the dragon fruit, like the Zoan dragon fruit, but Western dragon
Who
instead
is
of
Draco?
Eastern dragon?
Extra.
Okay, right. Okay, keep going.
Draco Malfoy.
Yeah,
Anyways.
it's like wait till my father hears about this.
Yes.
So because of bigger dragon being there, therefore Kaido's dragon. Literally,
Boss
that is
dragon.
boss dragon. Therefore, king of beasts. Therefore,
Right.
Unga Boonga.
Interesting.
Kill me.
So under this impression alone, he went, Kaido's got the dragon model dragon fruit. So then Kaido shows up, and I mean he's got the horns, which we already see the outline of, but now he's got the
I'm so sad
scale.
it wasn't oars.
I am not sad. I don't. It was a fun bit, but only because Luffy was inside his corpse. That was.
But think about it. Oars from the top rope.
I
It would've been
agree.
beautiful.
But instead, you got Kaido from the top rope. You're just gonna have to live with it. And then Kaido is revealed to have this lizard scale tattoo. And I'm like, Devin, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think you accidentally stumbled your way into probably the right answer here. I would say, what do you mean, huh?
How do you think he's correct? I think I missed that part. I long blanked.
He has dragon scale tattoo and horns.
He's a Western dragon.
I disagree that he's a Western. I think they probably make him an Eastern dragon because we already got depictions of Western dragons in this show.
But we also got Eastern one.
What if he's just a cute little gecko?
I know we have Momonosuke. I agree. We have Momonosuke, but I still think it's Eastern.
Nah, West Side.
All right, cool.
I'm not saying anything.
It's the horns.
I would hope
the horns are too much like Western style. It's not Eastern style.
I don't know.
I can't believe Devin pulling out this theory out of his ass with no premise at all. I can't believe Christian can back him up on this.
I
That's
think
the real surprising
I think
part.
horns and a lizard scale tattoo are enough to be like, all right, hold on, wait, is this actually a thing? I don't think this is crazy.
What if he just really likes lizards?
I mean, you might be right. He could be some other.
Christian's the lizard guy.
He should. Well, I wasn't going to brag about it, but it's now that you said it.
You're the lizard guy. I'm the crack cocaine energy guy.
The thought was already in my head, and then he had dragon scale tattoo and also horns, and I was like, this is there's too many things lining up now. I'm just here for the ride.
I just want to say that this is very funny to me because you have two very, 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 very loose pieces of quote unquote evidence to support your theory here.
Yes.
But when we go back to Law and all the heart paraphernalia that was surrounding him in the throne room, all of that went over your head. And I'm just here like, how? Just how, bro?
How can I miss the hearts but not
It even
this?
has the name Corazon on the back of his
Justin, I don't pull the string. I just follow it. I'm sorry.
Devin's thing was much more recency bias. I will give myself that as the out.
I guess so. I guess. So that's a theory. We'll see if that comes true. There's not really much else to talk about Kaido at this point because that was everything. He fell from the sky, and you guys think he's a dragon. Do you guys have any thoughts about Big Mom? I know she's been like coming in and out of the picture.
I was going to say that.
I've already she is big. I've already said that she's probably going to be our next villain, not Kaido. Okay. At least I kind of hope so. She was introduced first, and Luffy has a much more immediate beef with her than Kaido.
I mean, I hear you because he literally, well, not him exactly, but someone on his behalf mailed her a bomb in the letter or whatever package she got from Fishman Island. But Luffy and co did just really put a giant wrench in Kaido's plan that apparently he is very looking forward to. So I guess I'm here to just press you on, like, do you still hold that belief that like Big Mom's the next one up instead of Kaido?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, without a doubt.
My brain's smooth. I ain't got no thoughts.
Fair enough.
Perfect.
I once asked this the other week, but I wasn't here for it. When we came across so we have the Grand Fleet now presented to us as a thing that exists in the universe, and according to the narrator, will theoretically come back into the story for some grandiose event. Do you guys have any thoughts about what that grand event could be? Because I have my own idea for it.
Murder.
I don't know. Murder Blackbeard.
Okay.
Step 1, murder. Step 2, Blackbeard.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Step 3, question marks. Step 4, profit.
Yeah.
Step 3 is where the Captain Jack sticks in. I'm just saying.
Semi-unironically, I would guess that at some point in the future, because we've also stated that Blackbeard is kind of shaping up to be the final boss of the show. Mm-hmm. So in some sense, I imagine there's probably going to be some kind of showdown where Blackbeard has amassed this giant army maybe, and the Grand Fleet's going to maybe be brought back in at some point. Maybe not purely the very end of the series, but kind of close.
It's going to be like the second to last arc.
Well, allegedly the show is in its last like big arc right now.
Or the last saga. Let me clarify that. Saga. That could be that could be ending tomorrow or 5 years from now.
Hold on. Yeah. Remember months ago when someone made a joke about how One Piece finally got to the beginning of One Piece?
Yeah.
Like we finally finished the backstory. We're now getting into real One Piece time. Yeah. I remember that.
I don't remember. Wasn't me. Probably Brendan.
It was you.
I would never. So my idea for what I think this grandiose event that's going to occur, I don't necessarily think it's like that different from what you're proposing, but very plainly, I think there's going to be like a second Marineford War kind of thing. Doesn't necessarily have to be like a carbon copy, but I do think that there's like what was I thinking of back in when I first created this? I was thinking to myself of like Okay. Oda likes to revisit, stuff he's already done. So the clear example is Dressrosa is a retelling of Alabasta in some capacity. There's clear parallels. So I think at some point in my brain, I was like, the Marines are going to capture Sabo because he's just now Ace 2.0, if for this example. And Luffy's going to catch wind of it on time. And he's like, I'm not going to lose another brother. We're going back to Marine HQ and we're going to start another war. That's kind of where my line was thinking.
No shot.
If that is the case, I will hate it.
Yeah, no shot. It's just the same plot. It can be Marineford 2, but don't do what you just said. That sounds awful.
Yeah.
That
If it
sounds
makes you
like
feel any
the
better-
exact same thing over and over again.
If it makes you feel any better, I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen either. They can do Marineford 2 with for some reason they got to fucking storm the base again. But don't do this like capture the brother thing again. Like what are you talking about? I don't want that again.
Would you prefer it's Robin? Because that's also like my number two.
No,
As
I don't want anyone being captured and Luffy has to go save them again.
Because that's just Ennie's lobby again.
Yeah, I don't think Robin is going to be captured ever.
I don't. It's worse if it might even be worse if it's Robin or Nami, because then we're just revisiting for the 80th time the damsel in distress thing. Like I don't need this.
I guess time will tell. Other things that we can maybe talk about. So my boy Aruge is making moves, right? Like, he got put on the same screen with Kaido.
With his fucking Up Island.
Yeah.
Disney Pixar's Up Skypean Island.
Balloon Terminal. What a wonderful name. What a wonderful place.
Isn't Aruge the keyboard face?
No, that's Apu.
Oh, I rescind my ew.
Aruge's the one where his hobby is making love.
What?
Huh?
Did you not know
He
that?
did say that, actually. Yeah, no,
His
when
hobby
he got
is-
he does say that.
Yes.
He did.
And
This is
then
way back in Sama Odi and such like a nothing line.
His hobby's making love.
Oda.
The mad monk, the guy with the wings, the Skypean, as far as we can tell.
Is it making love in the aspect of like being like Cupid, or is it making love as going to Slam Town?
I don't know.
No,
man, but
he's
he's
asking
making
questions.
love.
I'm pretty sure it's the latter.
No. Hold on. He's got angel wings. He's like a monk.
He just needs a bow.
I think Devin's cooked. I think Aruge is this universe's version of Cupid.
Right now.
Yeah. I think you named one thing that Aruge has in common with Cupid, and it's wings.
That's all we need, man.
Nah, you need at least two pieces of evidence, like me with
Get out
Kaido.
of here.
Like me with
He
Kaido,
needs
you
a
need at least
bow.
two.
He needs an ultimate, and he needs a heal.
All right,
Stop that. Why are you making the Smite reference? Of all people here, you're the one?
But yeah, my boy Aruge's making moves. He's the next supernova up to be of massive, massive importance.
I sure hope not.
I still can't pronounce his name correctly.
No one can. It's okay. But speaking of
Are you
other
gay?
supernovas, how do you guys feel about the alliance that is being between it's Kid Pirates, Apu, and Hawkins, since they're going after Shanks allegedly?
I just want to see them do anything.
That's fair.
Mhm.
At this
The
point,
spaghetti noodle,
they just keep being shown. First, they have to make it through this encounter with Kaido. Don't know how this is gonna go. Kaido's either just gonna fuck off, or he's gonna wipe the floor with all of them.
Why
But-
not both?
Well, it can't be both because
Well, what if he like never acknowledges their presence, but he literally just tramples them and he just doesn't have no idea?
He just walks in their
I
general
would
direction.
hope that
passes
the
them,
people
and
move out of
defeats
the
them.
way of the giant dude that they know is Kaido.
It's One Piece. Look at what happened to Pika.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Do
A
ants
giant
move
dude
when you
that's
step towards
just
them?
get out of the way.
Well, yeah.
They do not.
What?
Don't worry about it.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Stop that. You're going closer to the dark side. Stop.
I'm
I don't even remember what I was going to say anymore.
sorry.
No, it's not you. It's
Stole your-
Devin.
your
It's my
thought.
fault.
Well, while you attempt to maybe remember what you're going to say.
Whoa, wait. Uruge's into climbing? Hold on. Uruge, best supernova.
Huh?
Mel put a picture in the
Out of the
live
three of
chat.
them, what you looked at was climbing.
Yeah.
He's a rock climber. He has a problem.
I climb rocks.
He likes to touch rocks, and he's a lizard man.
Rock climbers are the latest cult. I don't know if it's affected
They
you in
are, yeah.
Australia, but it's taking
No, they have.
over in the
Everyone
US.
I know is climbing now, and I don't understand why.
That's what I'm saying. Do not get it.
So anyway, like I've said this entire time, Uruge, can't wait to see what he gets up to in this show. Honestly, most compelling character in the series, bar none. Best backstory, best island, balloon terminal, love it. up my favorite Pixar.
I hate you. No.
What do you mean? This is great.
Stop.
Look, he also loves drinking, Devin. Sake is one of his three favorite things. Well, but you like getting fucked up.
Okay, that's fair. But no, there's nothing there. You're being blinded.
Let me move us along real quick. Final thing for this section. So assuming I've done the math right, which I may not have done because I suck at math. The total time that has passed since like the beginning of Dressrosa and them sailing off has been about 3 days, maybe 2.5. Do you? And I guess my question is like, concerning what could be happening on Zoe, what could possibly happen in 3 days, right?
3 Operation Desert Storms.
I don't know if you guys have any thoughts about what's maybe going on Zoe.
I have no clue what the hell's going on Zoe.
Gotcha. Understandable.
They just give you
that was the question.
Like bare minimum details other than we're looking for what was it, a samurai and a girl?
Yeah.
What was happening? And then we got the 2 Vikings that we take care of and
Vikings.
That's kind of what their outfits look like, the 2 pirates that show up.
There's the 2 pirates
like
from
Vikings.
Kaido's crew that are chasing.
I see.
Do you know they're from Kaido's crew?
Yeah, the one of them's got a belt buckle that has Kaido's flag on it.
You don't know that.
What if he's just a Kaido
I
fan?
do know that. It's literally shown.
I mean, you see a belt buckle, but then you don't see the Jolly Roger again. So you look at Captain Jack's ship or whatever.
You do. You see Kaido's in the next frame. They
Bellamy had
fade
the
from the
Duffy
belt buckle
symbol.
to the flag or
But he
something.
wasn't a Duffy crew pirate.
Say again?
Bellamy had the Duffy symbol, but he wasn't a member of the Duffy pirates.
What?
Yeah, but he was flying under, sailing under the Don Quixote family banner.
He was just a Duffy fan.
What if Kaido and that random pirate are flying under the flag of an even bigger pirate?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can't lie to me.
Literally a bigger one called Kaido.
I refuse to believe either of you.
Listen, we got Big Mom, and then we got this guy named
The
Kaido,
2
who's pretty
biggest
big.
spoilers in the room are trying to tell me
All
that
right,
this
hold
is
on,
not
no.
true.
Listen, I know I have my fair share of crimes, but she made one simple mistake. You don't have to burn at the stake for it.
Nah, she's up with you now too.
That's definitely not fair to her. I've done some egregious
Life's
things.
not fair.
Yeah. This is what you get for coming back.
I do my best to introduce you to one of our collaborators and dear community member friends.
Look,
Is this how you treat her?
Justin, I'm going to let you in on a secret right now, and everyone here. There is a community member that has spoiled something for me.
Ooh.
That I'm going to absolutely rail them for
When it comes up.
when the time comes.
Like in a fight, right?
Sure.
Wait.
What was that Kakashi line? People who spoil are worse than scum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Feel free to DM me who said what. I'm now curious.
Oh no, I'm not telling anybody who it was.
I'm curious now.
They know who they are, and when they listen to this, they're going to probably. I'm probably going to get a DM from them. So, yes, for the chat who keep. Everyone in the chat is like, was it me? Did I do it? Oh no, God! Oh God, was it me? Was it me? No. They know exactly who they are, and they are not present.
Well,
in this live recording.
The lost
So-
Was it Jordy?
No, I said community member. So
All right, it's a little fucked up, but okay.
yeah, it's
Jordy's been excommunicated from the community.
you asked if it was Jordy. I said.
So the question
I
is,
don't
what
count.
if they don't remember? That
Oh no,
did
they
it?
remember. I just
You should make sure they never forget.
They remember.
You should line us up on the hanging platform.
It's like the lineup of all the people for a crime. It's like, who was it?
Yeah, you
Was it
call
number
out.
3?
Yes.
You call
Yeah.
out what our crime is.
Yes.
It was Luffy with the meat ham stick in the courtroom.
Exactly.
All right. Moving on a little bit. So I wrote and asked, do you think the crew has more tricks to reveal to us? Because we have Luffy with his Gear 4 as our latest trick in the bag. And so I'm just curious if that makes you inclined to believe that maybe anyone else on the crew could have something up their sleeve.
Boy, I sure hope so.
Yeah, that agreed. Hope so, because come on, Zoro, do something.
You
Well,
know
they
the-
He's trying his best out there.
gave Zoro a do something moment, and then they just kind of like said, it's not that big of a deal though.
Right. Like, I want to see him do something.
With the black hockey swords.
I want to see him do something.
So
kind of-
I want crab guillotine. It's coming back. I swear to
that's
God.
what I'm saying.
That's kind of like the Zoro thing. You know how whenever, like, how do I explain this? I love Zoro, but you know how his fans go absolutely crazy when, like, he fights someone? I
Yeah.
stand by the reason he gets so hyped for that is because he doesn't do anything until that moment. So everyone goes, oh, yeah, he's doing something.
They're just
and
so
everyone
starved
cheers.
for content.
I love him. I love that that's how he functions. He just doesn't do anything until he gets thrown into a situation and goes, oh, shit, maybe I should start fighting someone.
I think I specifically want to see more expansion on Brook and Brook's power, because they've already done the interesting thing of giving him cold powers, because deepest pit of hell is cold and not hot. So I just want more. I want more fun ways of using Brook's soul power. Basically, is what I want. I think I want to see Robin get like an actual fight at some point. Like
Well, to be fair, those legs were stomping out a lot of people. You hyped a lot.
Right. Yes.
That was pretty new.
I'm looking.
But it
I
wasn't new.
want her to get her proper 1v1 though. Like
You want to see her Melania fight.
yes, you're right. Let me solo her.
Yeah, I want to see that. Let me solo her Melania fight.
I need to let me solo her moment. No, but like really though, Robin. I get her power is not incredibly battle oriented, but we can make something happen here. I hope.
I just want to see more necks.
And maybe we don't relinquish Chopper to just being comedy bits now, comic relief. You know, maybe we give Chopper some actionable screen time too. I'm just saying, maybe get that bounty up out of the triple digits.
Get him a cool
Quads in
1,000.
Maybe a better epitaph than cotton candy. It's, you know.
I just want to see him go full fucking Wendigo like kung fu. That we got a taste of it, and if I remember Punk Hazard, I just want more.
Maybe one day we'll have Chopper Wendigo point again.
Please.
This time with less Frankie operating the machinery.
Oh, that reminds me. I love that that Frankie's new wanted poster is the General Frankie. Incredible. I love it so much.
That's good. I already asked you last episode about why you think Sanji's wanted poster is set alive. We already just did that whole discussion.
Yes.
Okay, we don't need to rehash that then. Cool.
Everyone
moving
wants
on.
him.
Quiet you.
She's not wrong.
I did that.
Shush.
That's just a little section. If you guys have any questions about for Mel, excuse me, whether it's One Piece related, maybe slightly personal, open court, or if she has questions for us, since it's the first time you three are, interacting with each other.
I'm going to ask the question that I think all the community members have wanted answered for a long time.
Oh, God.
Hey, Mel, what are you wearing right now?
No. Oh, do I have
That's
to
the question I
answer
thought we were
this?
going to go to.
Not if it's going to embarrass you.
I'm just wearing my jammies with my hoodie.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm crazy.
Yeah, that's nothing compared to what
Wait,
I'm
with
doing.
your what?
My hoodie.
Oh, okay. I
I'm
thought you
comfy
said with my Uruge, and I was like, what?
My hoodie. It is not a hoodie. Hoodie with an R.
What's the difference?
Do they drop the age in Australia? What's going on?
No, it's not. Does anyone have a photo, please?
Australians don't know what H's are.
Is this a product? Is an Udi a product?
Yeah, it's a big, comfy, cozy thing. I didn't realize this was an Australian
Oh,
or
it's
anything.
like a Snuggie.
Yeah,
Almost.
but cooler and better.
It's it's like a Snuggie mixed with a shower. What do you call those things? No, not a shower curtain. A bathrobe. That's what I was
I
looking
look
for.
like a big marshmallow. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that satisfactory? I'm also wearing glasses. Does that mean anything?
Oh, no, yeah, that's fine. This is
That's
just
fine.
a question.
This is the question we get asked all the
This is a
time.
question we get emailed all the time. So
I also get, I have my socks on as well. They're pink.
nice.
Anything
I'm
else?
glad there's at least one pink article of clothing on you. I
Oh,
feel like
there's
it has to
many.
be-
My
it's part of
hoodie
your
is all
brand.
pink.
Ah, yes. The brand
My desk
coming
is
together.
pink. My
Your
keyboard's
desk
pink.
is pink.
My microphone's
okay.
pink.
This goes so much further than I thought.
Everything.
I feel like this shouldn't be
Everything
a
is
surprise.
I thought I started at the hair and just kind of maybe stopped there. Oh my god.
No,
Nonsense.
I've unlocked my free will. Actually, when I went to New York every day, like 3 times a day, I'd get, "Whoa, I love your hair," and someone shouted at me from across the street and it scared the shit out of me. But I had to like wave because what do you do in that situation? I can't yell
Give him
back.
the finger.
You
No,
just
I-
thanks.
It's New York.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
if you're in the heart of New York, you just yell thanks or fuck off. Either one works.
That's awesome. Also, as someone who's seen her hair, it is the amount of like vibrancy you're able to attain with your pink hair. God bless your stylist or whoever does it. They're doing great work.
I turned on a light like above my head when I was with my family during Christmas, and I just got my hair done, so it was like neon pink. And I turned the light on, and it was such a bright light. My mum went, "Oh my god!" Because
You have the exact same effect that bald people have when they just
Yeah,
buff their dome. It's everything.
she went, "Oh my god!"
fruit.
No, I love it.
That's great.
I'm like the landmark for my family. It'll always be like, "Okay, we're going out and doing this," and they'll say, "Wherever you spot Mel, just go towards her." And of course, they always spot me because I'm just a big bright thing in the middle of like a crowd.
Oh, you're a lighthouse too? I am too.
I am a lighthouse. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Everyone needs a lighthouse friend.
Exactly.
Everyone needs that one person they can anchor to in the crowd. Find your way back home.
And that's me.
Any other questions from you two? Or Mel, do you have questions for us or anything you want to talk to us about?
Yeah. Back to Doffy. Do you guys think Doffy, I know we kind of went over this, but do you guys think Doffy cares at all about his crew?
Absolutely not.
A part of me wants to believe, just a smidge.
That's the thing, right? You want to believe because it's so sad otherwise.
Nah, dude's a monster.
Yeah, but there's got to be like something good in him somewhere.
Dude, look, Exhibit A points at the whole arc.
There's some weird kind of fixation for him on it's like caring about your favorite tools, like your favorite craftsman hammer, you know, like if it breaks you're like, "Oh man, that fucking sucked," and like you kick the 2x4 you were hammering across the room or something, but
either way, if it breaks, you're throwing it out.
yeah, so like
I think he cares more so about the possession than the actual item.
Yeah.
yes. So it's like he cares, but ultimately they're replaceable in some regard.
And next question, do you think he loved Corazon on any level? Resonante.
I think maybe when they were actually,
No.
you know
No.
what? Honestly, I think at some point he probably would have been the only person he actually cared about. Largely informed about his own fucked up belief about, oh, you know, he's celestial dragon, he's above everybody else, that kind of thing. But I think that would have been like the closest person he would have loved in that time. Yeah.
I think even if he was an only child, he would have been just as happy before going down.
Yeah, we get like a semblance of I struggle to call it humanity from Doflamingo, where Doffy's holding Law up and says, if you had gotten the message to any other Marine, the tragedy of Dressrosa wouldn't have happened. And then Law says to him, so you do consider this a tragedy? And Doffy breaks down laughing and says, yeah, I guess you're right. So it's like, he semi feels that what he's done, I guess, is monstrous, but I don't know if that's better. Because that means he's executed all these terrible things and he thought, yeah, this is so horrible. I'm going to do this anyway.
Yeah, I think he's just recognizing how awful the thing he's done is. He's not feeling remorse for it. He's just recognizing that this is a terrible thing he's done and he's relishing in it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, a self-aware monster is still a monster.
Yeah, I don't know what's worse, the self-aware monster or just like a monster. Do you know what I mean? I feel like in some cases... Yeah, I feel like in some cases being self-aware is worse because he just chooses to be that terrible.
Yeah. I think at some point I genuinely believe that like he loved Corazon. Like when Corazon came back, he was like, oh my God, my family, my real flesh and blood. Mwah.
Nah,
I call it copium.
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely cope.
Yes, my own flesh and blood is back, but in the way that Mel described earlier, where he's a fellow celestial dragon.
And also he killed his first own flesh and blood, which was his dad.
Oh no, my flesh and blood is back. Bang. Oh no, my flesh and blood is back again. Bang. I'm sorry, but the evidence is
kind of
not
against
too
him.
great.
Yeah, I just love asking that question to people because, like, there are some people, they are hell-bent that Doffy, like, and again, it's all interpretation. They're hell-bent that Doffy has to have some love in him. And I just think that's such, like, that it's such a sad
and
like,
worrying.
No, it's like, I just feel like they just want Doffy to care because, like I said, it's just so tragic otherwise to follow someone and someone who raised you who just they don't care about you. And it's like, I feel like it's just humans being human and wanting to believe there's some love there. Because otherwise, again, it's just so sad. So I see where they're coming from, but I do not believe Doffy has any love in his heart at all.
That's fair. I'm just huffing some copium. I want to believe.
I want to believe.
I'm saying I've said it before, and maybe I still believe in my heart of heart. Doflamingo Friend Arc is coming.
All right, and
you're an insane
there's
human
ever
being.
been a psychological test or study done on this.
And my final question is: who was your favorite princess, Viola, Rebecca, or Law?
Law.
If those are my options,
Viola.
yeah, if those are my options. Probably Viola.
I can't fault that. I love Viola, so I can't say anything.
I mean, I
against
like
that.
her, but they're doing this to spite me.
That's
Law
part
was
of
the
it.
undefeated princess of the arc, honestly.
I was a real princess all along from the very beginning. Rebecca who?
We also forgot a
actually,
fourth princess, Manchuri.
Oh, Manchuri! Oh my god, I love her. That's
true.
so true. Wait, you're
But
right.
I mean,
How
it's
could I forget
it's
her?
still Viola, but Manchuri is
To
a
be
good one.
fair, she does hide quite a bit.
My god,
so
there
I
were so
can't
many
fault you.
princesses in Dressrosa.
What was that video, Christian? The too many cooks? The too,
Too many cooks?
Too many princesses.
Oh, I love
Too many cooks. Too many
Yeah.
cooks.
Wow, good job, Devin.
Look at me doing
All right.
the good.
I've got nothing else. Those are all my questions.
Beautiful. That's it from you guys too.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty good.
The brain rot is fully set in. I ain't got no questions.
Got it. Cool. Moving on. Next segment. Mel, I know you've done this before in our last episode together, and I don't know how much you loved it. So we're gonna make you do it again. Do you have a recommendation for us and the audience at large here? Could be anything. Media, an activity, favorite brand of rice, whatever you want.
Last time I said BoJack Horseman. I remember that because everyone went, "Whoa!"
Whoa.
I need to finish that.
I don't know. If you like slice of life animes, there's an anime called Kids on the Slope that's beautiful
Oh.
and gorgeous. Really, really
Mhm,
like that one. Big recommend.
I've heard that in passing from Jordy.
It's a beautiful, beautiful anime. I really like it. It's about jazz.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
about
music anime.
Discovering yourself
anime.
through music. Gosh, anything else? Really like cats, digging cats. Just cats, not the
just the
musical or
animal in
anything.
general?
Just the animal. Cats are pretty
Yeah.
cool. I recommend them.
Yeah.
Official recommendation: get a cat.
Get a cat.
Oh my God, Panda already.
Go on.
Look at the live chat. Sorry, this is gonna mean nothing.
What is this?
This is gonna mean nothing to the listeners, but about 30 minutes ago, when Devin made a Elden Ring joke of Robin versus Melania, one of our community members has
there was a
speed drawn an amazing depiction of this.
So for the record, when I said that, I meant Robin as Melania.
Yes, I
Because
understand.
of the flying. I know you understood,
Why
but
would
this
you-
is just as good.
Because
Why would you put
Melania.
women against each other? I think Robin would be in love with her.
that this is incredible.
That's
Oh my
for anyone
God.
who doesn't remember. Panda is also our resident artist who made our logo, made that Zorro sticker, made so many things. So if anyone ever badmouths her artistic ability, including herself, I will not stand for it. All right?
Oh, up on the hanging platform.
Never.
Exactly.
Panda never
Up to the
ceases
gallows
to
you go.
amaze.
Oh, I do have one more thing to recommend, actually. This is a legit one. Witch Hat Atelier. It's about to get an anime, but the manga, it's like, I love it. It's a little manga about a little girl who like wants to be a witch, and she's like, she loves magic. And it's like the world is so well built, and the characters are so cute and so fun, but there's also so much depth behind the story as well. It's basically a much, much, much better Harry Potter, like much better. And it's following a little girl trying to be a witch, and it's just so beautiful. Not weird at all, by the way, thank God. I truly recommend just looking at the manga a little bit before the anime comes out, because I have a feeling it's going to become a big anime, because we've all been anticipating this for a long time, and it looks beautiful, the animation. And the manga's set like a storybook. The way it's framed, it's like a fairy tale. It's just gorgeous.
Oh.
So I fully recommend checking out Witch Hat Atelier before it gets big and you can say you were there before it became mainstream.
Hippie mode.
Nice. Appreciate the recommendations.
I just want to, before we move on to the next thing, Gabriel has asked for it twice, and I realized it's also not on the sheet, that we should assign a platinum ham for the arc here.
Oh, shit. My bad.
The
Right.
rat. The
I'm
rat.
not voting for Apple Rat. Mel, for your platinum ham is basically who we think the MVP of the arc was, or our favorite character of the arc was.
It's the rat.
It's not a rat.
Oh, my goodness. No.
It's not a rat.
It's the rat.
Oh my god. Are
Of
we
all
gonna
the times for
take this
Brisbane
bitch
to
to
not
know
be
do
you.
numbers on a platinum ham? Oh,
Don't
my.
do this to me.
I
Be
can't.
on the right side of justice. Make it the rat.
This cannot happen.
The Rat King demands it.
I mean, look,
Okay, Christian, you know who I would name. Who would you name?
I would name either Barto or Barto.
My nominee is going to be Law, but I also really like Kyros this arc. Mel, I think you were going to say something.
well, I was going to say, how do I explain this? I'd honestly give it to Doffy, not because he's good, but because, as a person, but because he was, the center point for, every insane thing happening during the Dressrosa arc. He was, one of the reasons I was glued to my screen. So I would personally give it to Doffy for just being insanely interesting and fun. And funny as well.
I can
And
get behind this. She's been facts.
And dripped.
He's dripped out. I love his outfit.
Same. Honestly, younger Doflamingo with the red suit, iconic. Love that. I want that.
And the
personally.
hair.
He came to slay
Yeah,
and slay.
absolutely.
Cut
In more ways than one.
Yeah.
I'm on board with the Doflamingo pick, honestly.
But this is the last chance that the rat can get a golden ham, and I was sniped that time.
What did apart from being a beautiful piece of animation, what did the rat do?
He cleaned
Knocked
up.
down
see
an apple
that
core.
apple
He cleaned up
It
the
did.
streets.
It was very good at chewing up the apple core.
Yeah,
I can't.
it set the tone perfectly.
Can I get a platinum rat badge?
Independent award.
Yeah.
Best rat of the season?
I can give it to Dolphy.
I could also
That feels-
as a
that
serious
feels right.
pick. Dofi is pretty, yeah.
Nice. Good job, Doflamingo. You did
Yeah.
one thing that didn't ruin anyone's life.
Yeah, Duffy win. We ruined the
been
rat's
the rat.
life.
Just show shit. I checked. So, thank you, Gabriel and Christian, for bringing this to my attention. My bad. I've been really bad at planning the podcast recently. There's just so many things I've been overlooking.
That's all right, dude.
That's
You
okay.
got the rest of the sheet right. Everyone can't be
True.
perfect.
Oh my god, wait, I'm sorry. There was one more thing that was really funny about Dressrosa that I forgot to say, and it just came to me now. When Corazon reveals he's not mute, and Law says, well, why were you not talking? And he says, because I just don't like him. I just have nothing to say to Doflamingo. That was probably the funniest reveal I'd had in the series at that point, because of all reasons to be mute. It's just, I just don't like him. I don't want to talk to him. And Duffy
Honestly,
the whole
he-
time thought, yeah, he's mute because he's not talking.
That's great. Honestly, I wish I could do that IRL. Just
You
stop.
can.
You
And then
can.
everyone will
can.
think you're mute.
Just move. Just
I
move
feel like
somewhere
he
that's
can
not
do
where
it,
you
and he
are
doesn't
now.
really suffer consequences for it. I feel like I'd have some hiccups in my life with selective mutism.
It's just like a bit that Corazon had, and he took it so far, nearly to the death.
You know what? Now you think about it, you would not believe this. This time last week, I blew out my vocal cords. I genuinely could not speak, and I was really worried about recovering before today. Thankfully, I did. But during those 3 days where I literally couldn't talk, I was like, I've always been curious about selective mutism. Maybe this is where I start my arc. I just tell people I can't speak anymore, and I just really commit to it by learning sign language or home signs or whatever. Did it cross my mind?
Corazon Kinney. You could just text.
My brain immediately just went to the ice age of, I died, but then I lived.
That was great. Thank you for that. So I don't know if you read this part previously, but our next bit here is after revisiting the schedule, I realized the next movie we get a chance to watch is Film Gold. And the next set of episodes right before the next arc officially is a 4-episode filler set that kind of ties into the Film Gold movie. And so, Mel, we were struggling to make a decision.
Yeah.
And so we've placed it in our fate in your
Wait, it
hands.
ties to the movie?
No,
Yes.
I don't.
Well,
I
why
don't
are we just not watching it then?
I don't
Do you want to watch
remember.
filler?
I want to know if we're going to
Sorry,
watch
let-
the man eating rocks or not.
let
Hey,
them-
I
let
don't.
her-
I don't remember the film Gold. Does it go up to the film? All I remember about it is there are some wubba wubbers, and that is all I remember. That's all I
What?
saw.
What is that even?
What are you saying?
There's some boomba wumbas. You know what I mean?
What Australian slang are you speaking to me right now? What
What you trying to say? Oompa Loompas?
The only
Chumbawamba?
the only filler episode, and it's like a short special that I remember. I do not remember it being a set. Was like just a 10-minute short where there were just some things singing, and that is all I remember. I don't know how to explain this without it kind of like, is it spoilery? I don't know if I
There
can say
is
it.
an episode 0 that was like a web exclusive that is about like 10 minutes long.
Yeah,
there's a
that's-
lot of like tie-in content for Film Gold for some reason. I was choosing to focus purely on these next 4 episodes.
Okay,
There's too much content.
I must say, I do not remember those. So if you want to watch them, you can tell me what they were.
So, are we watching someone eat rocks or no?
I think we gotta. If it ties into the movie we're gonna watch anyway, we gotta watch it, right?
Right.
I'm not going to make that bold claim. I feel
I'll
like we
make the
watch the
claim.
movie, have a good time.
I'll make the claim.
Oh, the Silver Mine arc. Oh, I do remember that. Was that tied into Film Gold? It didn't feel
According
like
to
it.
the wiki, it is.
The wiki might be wrong. I do not remember. I remember the arc now, but I don't remember any mention of like Film Gold stuff in it.
Oh, everyone's saying it sucks.
Do you want that, Christian? Do you want that in your life?
Well,
But rocks.
if it's see, there's a fine line with stuff that
Well-
sucks to watch. Where if it sucks hard enough, it makes for great content.
Well, here's the question: do you like Bartolomeo?
Yes,
Yes.
Then maybe you should watch it.
I'm in.
Hell
That's
yeah.
all I needed.
All right.
Sold.
Okay. So I think for next week's set of episodes, it should be 7:47 to I think it's like 7:50, 7:51. You'll find out when we find out. And
Can you do me? Sorry, real quick. Can you do me a favor and also show them the 10-minute Film Gold special as well? I'm desperate for
if
them
I
to
can
see
find
that.
it, I will.
I can even help you if you want, but it's so funny. Like, you know exactly what I mean when I was talking about the Wumba Wumbas.
Gotcha. We'll get to that in post.
Thank you.
It is. Am I having a stroke?
No, and if you are, all of us are having it, so you know it's fine.
Okay.
So that's basically the end of our show. I don't know if Mel, you have to go scram, or if you want to do like a quick Q&A with the audience while we have you.
I can do a Q&A.
All right. Chat's open. Speak your piece. Chat go. Go gadget. Ask questions.
Not going to take a whole lot of questions here, I think, because we've gone extraordinarily long. But
He's got work. I got work. He, she, we work.
feel free to start spamming some questions in the chat. Hey,
And I'll
listeners,
selectively pick them.
thanks for sticking with us this long. I know this one has been a long one, but I'm glad. I'm happy if you're listening to this that you made it through the 2.5-ish hours that we've thrown in your face. But we appreciate you.
Yeah, and if you're one of those goons that are listening to us at 1.25 speed or higher, I like you a little less personally.
Well,
I don't mind them.
oh, it sounds like he's in normal speed.
You know, funny enough, I thought about doing that for a bit next week of like just spiting all the 1.25 listeners and speaking really slow so they can just be like, what's going on? I might commit to that. We'll see what happens.
I'm not. You guys,
There's a lack of questions here.
yeah,
You guys
this
normally-
is surprising.
We
I see
are-
geese.
We are questionless.
Yeah, we're questioning. Oh, but we're not
Okay.
pictureless. We are not pictureless because Panda has struck again and has done what the original vision was and made Robin into Melania. Oh my God!
Beautiful.
So this
Mwah.
is my question to you, Christian.
Okay.
Do you think that Sanji is Mikola?
No. That would make that would have to make them brother and sister,
Okay.
Robin and Sanji. That is.
Ew.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not about that.
Yuck.
Let's just not open that can of worms.
So who's
please.
Mikola then?
If Robin is Melania, then I don't know who's like. I don't think anyone on the crew fits this bill.
There's
There's like no one on the crew that fits the bill of Robin's brother,
Jabra.
Jopra.
Yes, of course, her brother. long lost brother Jabra. I can't wait for that to be true someday. That's
God
be great.
damn it.
First question here from Rules in Town. Mel, would you listen to One Piece with the Line podcast?
Oh, absolutely. I love this podcast. Recommend it to all my friends. I think it's good fun. Totally not lying. No, I'm kidding. No, I do listen to you guys like from time to time. I won't lie. I'm just not the biggest podcast listener, but it's a fun
I can't
little
blame the
podcast
listeners
you
just
have.
at all. That's great.
It's just
Go
a
me.
fun
It's
little
okay. I
podcast
set
you
the
have.
gun down. You can say the truth.
Please don't forgive me. But yeah, no, it's a fun little podcast you have. It's very chill, very nice. It's very nice to be on it as well. That's why I came back a second time.
Great, thank you. We genuinely appreciate your support. It's the fact that you think we're good enough to listen even once or twice speaks volumes for us. So thank you. Next question here is from Gabriel. Mel, do you think there's any merit in a video essay discussing power scaling in One Piece? Seriously, I think there's real merit in discussing power dynamics and genuine power scaling as a genuine storytelling tool. Beyond all the stupid X, no diffs, Y, B, yes, nonsense.
That's a difficult one to answer because if I were going to get into like the power scaling discussion, I would talk about how Oda uses power in One Piece. And it's, like you said, it's a storytelling tool. It's a plot device, essentially. And Oda hasn't limited himself. Like, he has a set of rules, of course, the devil fruits, the ocean, what these devil fruits can do. But he's very, very flexible. So he doesn't like put his world around the confines of like the power, you know, like he doesn't lock himself in like some writers do. Because you know how some writers have like admitted they've made this villain so powerful that they don't know what to do with him now. Oda has never had that conundrum because he's made it so he can just do whatever he wants. So whenever anyone like talks about like power scaling in One Piece and who could beat who and who could beat who, the answer is whoever Oda has decided will beat who. Like, yes, it must be in the realm, but he hasn't restricted himself like with like, oh, they're just too powerful, because he can just make someone else more powerful. May it be Luffy, may it be Zoro. So it's like power scaling is a fun hobby, I think, but adding it into like One Piece as a serious thing, it's like power to Oda is not that serious. It's literally just a tool that he can bend whenever he wants. But I don't know, maybe I might make a video on that at one point, because I don't know, if I ever made that video, I might be hunted down.
That would be her last video before she retires from content creation.
I'd have to be really careful about that one. But no, it's an interesting topic. I actually do have in my notes to talk about how Luffy's gears work through the story and like their significance. But power as a whole, it would be an interesting discussion, I think.
Nice. Appreciate the answer. Next question here is a question for all of us. What do we think about the Dressrosa openings? And I believe we verified the openings are Wake Up and Hard Knock Days. I like them. They're cool. They're not my favorite, but they're all right. I think they're probably
Still
some of the
haven't
better
watched
ones. Yeah, Stephen still hasn't watched them. I think they're probably amongst the better ones in post time skip.
Yeah, not good, but not bad.
Yeah.
They're fine. I think out of the two of them, the one for the second half of the arc is better. I don't know whichever one of the two it is. I
think
don't
it's
know the
Hard
names.
Knock Days. It's like the 15th anniversary one, right?
I don't know.
That's what I'm telling myself in my
Sure.
brain. Sounds right.
Either way, the one that we've been getting in the back half is better than the first. I guess that's my main opinion.
Cool. Next question. Mel, would you consider being a guest for the episodes, the cast dedicated to season 2 of the live action series?
No, because I'm a negative Nelly when it comes to the live action, and if you haven't noticed, I haven't made any videos on it or anything. I don't even talk about it on Twitter, simply because I don't want to ruin anyone's fun by being that person. So I just leave it be, and I let everyone else talk about it.
I want you to be there.
No, I am so scared of getting beaten to a pulp for my opinions on the live action. So I have a rule for myself, and the rule is don't talk about anything that like makes you like hateful and angry, because that's a dark hole to go down and it just makes you feel bad. So it's like, I don't want to talk about the live action because it doesn't really fill me with joy. One Piece fills me with joy and the manga fills me with joy, but I can't say the live action's in that category. So I leave it to the
join
side.
me in the dark side.
It's not for me to discuss.
Another video for her retirement from content creation.
I'll be done when I make the live action video. And I'll be done.
She's gonna drop that and dip forever.
Yeah.
Great. Next question here is from Lookie. I think she got this from a Google search, but anyway, she asks, what is something you're weirdly good at without having had any formal training or much practice?
I suppose editing.
Really?
I haven't been officially trained or in official classes or anything for editing.
Bruh.
I just do it.
Bruh. Teach me your ways, bruh. Please, boss.
Probably same with I can't say essay writing because I have, done uni essays and stuff, but I don't know. Maybe I suppose the character analysis I do, that's just me. That's just my brain just rooting around and trying to put things together on its own. What else? I'm really good at whistling.
God, I'm so sad I can't whistle.
Haha.
We can fix that.
Hey, Justin, just get good.
Shit.
Sounds like he's gonna cry.
But yeah, I don't really have a fun little talent like that. Sadly, I don't have a party trick. I wish I did.
I don't got anything. You guys got any cool tricks?
Cool tricks? Not really. I think over time I've discovered that I'm pretty flexible, like not like with my scheduling or mentally, like my body is physically flexible.
He's nice and limber.
Without all right, well, look, keep that to the bedroom, Devin. I told you. Just like in recent years, I've realized that my joints have a lot more flexibility without ever having done, like, I've done sports and whatever, but you do loose stretching, but it's not really to the point where I was specifically training to be able to like put my hands flat on the ground from a standing position or like put my ankle above my head, but I can. So
I have a friend who can, this is her party trick. She can dislocate her shoulders and make her arms go all the way around.
Oh God, it's so sickening looking, but also
I know, right? But she does it all the time and I hate her for it. Actually, my roommate said I'm not really good at it. My roommate said I'm really good at the Akira meme where he goes, "Leave me alone." She really likes that. But that's all I can think of.
Just face palm and shut society. Yeah, same, honestly.
Okay. We're gonna take. How's 3 more questions sound as we run up on 3 hours here?
Beautiful. Next question's from our community member Leaf. They ask, Mel, what devil fruit would you like to have, and what devil fruit do you think you'd actually have?
I swear this was asked last time, and I remember because I said, I want Robin's fruit so I can look at, and then you all went, oh, and I was like, no, I don't want to spy on anyone like that. I want to know what happens in like executive boardroom meetings. I want Robin's fruit so I can like listen in on like the top secret conversations happening in terms of like...
She wants to spy on the Illuminati.
She wants to be in the room where it happens.
No, I want to know what's happening.
She wants to see what the One Piece is.
I want to know what's happening in like Disney boardrooms. You know what I mean? Like, how do they get these decisions when it's like you know that Pepsi commercial that was like ridiculous and stupid when it was like a protest was happening and Kylie Jenner gave them a Pepsi. Exactly. I want to listen in on those meetings to understand how the fuck you have a boardroom of how many people. This has gone through so many people and you all said, yeah, this is great. I want to know how they come to those decisions.
It kind of reminds me of the South Park episode of the put a chick in it, make it gay.
Yeah, exactly. I know the exact episode.
But like that energy, like you just want to witness it.
The devil fruit I would have. Oh God, good question. Knowing me, I'd have something just so useless. I'd probably have Foxy's fruit.
Oh no! Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's fine as long as you're not Foxy.
Or I'd have Law's fruit, but I would not be able to use it because my stamina is absolute arse. So I could use it for a total of 10 seconds before I'm like, I'm done for the day. I can't keep doing this.
And also, you don't have medical knowledge.
And I don't have medical knowledge. I'd be useless with it.
Uses it to get the remote off the counter to the couch.
Yeah,
every day.
honestly though, same.
Shambles.
Beautiful question.
I think the only other one that I see in here is and this is for any of us, if you had the jacket fruit, who would you wear and for what purpose?
I am wearing whoever is like the quote unquote most powerful person in the world. It's gonna be like a billionaire or something. And I'm just looking to make sweeping changes across the nations. I'm trying to influence history and world order.
I'd wear Oda.
And then what?
And then I'd like just, add ridiculous things to One Piece that would make
One
people...
Piece is actually friendship.
Yeah, literally.
I lied.
I would just add things that are like small but funny, but also makes people tear their hair out. And it's like,
She's adding so many Sanji solo panels.
I'd add more rats.
Yes.
Turn all of them into rats. It's now Rat Piece.
It's not Rat Piece.
Panda, get on that.
Panda. Here we go. Here we go.
Actually, no, I don't want to make Oda look like a fraud. I don't want to make him look bad. I do stuff like I'd bring Pell back and make him explode again and then bring him back again.
Oh,
I just do shit
you're
like
evil.
that.
You're pure evil. This is the worst
funny.
timeline. You're worse than Tofi.
I'd make I don't know, I'd make Zoro fall on his knees and start crying and go, I am weak. So everyone goes, no, and then gets really upset at the fact that Zoro's showing emotions.
Oh, no, you can't do this to us. Not like this.
Just one single panel of Zoro going, I feel sad. That's it.
There's really terrible manga edits that people do to make fun of each other. That's what I'd start adding in.
Incredible.
God.
I think I'd want to wear like Elon Musk or something, some ridiculous public figure, and then just try and see what a day looks like for them. Basically, just be able to access the same facilities. I'd love to go into Space Force headquarters and see what kind of nonsense goes on in there, or Twitter. Sorry, X.
You get on his phone and see the worst
we just want
memes
to be rich for
imaginable.
a day, really, in some capacity.
Yeah, and then also, just siphon off a bunch of money while I'm there.
Hand it out to everyone. Crash the economy.
See,
Yeah.
So I would wear Zuckerberg so I could see who's actually wearing Zuckerberg currently.
Oh, Jacketception.
I want to see the lizard.
Yeah, you go to unzip Zuckerberg and you find Patrick Starr in the gorilla suit.
And underneath Patrick Starr is that gorilla.
Yeah, and then underneath the gorilla is the lizard finally.
Because have you seen
great.
that person try to drink water? It's weird.
Beautiful. Thank you everyone for the questions. Thank you, Mel, for being with us for 3 whole hours. I knew it was always going to happen. People really thought we would have a guest and not go for 3 hours again.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a yapper.
You guys don't know the formula. Oh, no. We love that. They'd rather listen to you yap than me yap. I do it every week.
I see.
But yes, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being a member of our community. Everyone loves you. Everyone loves your work.
Oh, stop.
I'm sure these guys love you, even if you did piss them off for half a second by accident. Yeah, I don't know if you guys want to say anything. Any parting words before Devin does the thing?
It's hot.
Understandable, buddy. Unless you're in
It's
Australia,
cold.
in which case it's really cold.
She got her little oogie on.
There are 2 podcasters inside of me. One that is sweating
And one that is
profusely, and the other
cold.
one is freezing.
Oogie, oogie, oogie.
No one knows this, but there's a video of a cat in a bath going, I'm cold! And I think about that all the time.
It's me, Iron Cat. All right. Well,
Anyways, that's it.
I think it's finally time for you to do the thing here, Devin.
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Panda Sightings. You can send questions at pandasightings@gmail.com. If you want to monetize us, you can go to Patreon or Redbubble. Maybe we'll have rat merch in there. Who knows? We'll see. And fuck.
Join our Discord so you can maybe partake in one of these in the future.
Yeah.
Also follow Mel on YouTube and Twitter and wherever
and if
else
you
she's
want
posting
to
stuff.
monetize me, I have a Patreon. Give your money to me, not these
Yeah,
guys.
give it to her.
Me
She's
the money.
doing. No, she's making
Whoa.
way better stuff than us.
All right. Well, first she spoils us, then she's trying to siphon money away from us.
Yeah, I'm
I mean,
taking
guys, you
your
haven't seen her
treasures.
work, but I have. she's kind of killing it. All right. If anyone deserves $5, it's her. We just do a
Call the
silly little
cops.
podcast.
She's killing it. Call the cops.
I'm killing it.
But yeah, that's it. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night, good morning, whatever. Bye.
Bye bye.